am I gonna beat him? Maybe I should show him my e-gamer girl collection.
What?
Please tell me that's what Collins.
I'm gonna fucking end it all.
Wow.
Also, why are people's PNGs just not showing up? Who?
Why am I
Yeah,
going
some of
back?
them are
I
just
thought-
not there.
I like the. furry
Mine's
hat.
not there. Hello?
That's me.
I'm
good
gone.
for you.
I'm gone.
Would you like it? Man,
This
would
is
you
not
like
your
that?
stream anymore. This is ours.
Nope, it is
I'm
our
gone.
stream.
Our stream, comrade.
Help!
Would
Help!
anyone- would
Hello,
anyone like-
everyone. Good
Hello.
afternoon. How's chat doing?
Would anyone
We're
like a hat
starting on
from the
chapter
free hats?
14.
Please
Hey,
tell me.
y'all. Hi, chat. Hi, Mel. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Mel. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Tolk. Volma, I'll kill
Hi.
you.
Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Shaggy Rogers?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what
I
we should
would
not
Started
love
get
one
to
day.
behind.
know why the fuck is this not working?
So
Give me
hi,
a
I'm
second.
a free hat. I have no head to claim, so I'm looking for a
Refresh your
home,
Fujitech.
please.
Fugi, please.
My hat feels cold.
Help me.
I
Did you
will
know that
wear
I
the hat.
counted?
I don't mind wearing
Yeah,
the
this
hat.
shit is
I think I
on
have a
you.
character that can wear the hat because it's facing
I'm
the
gonna
right
just
way.
hide everybody for a second and then
You can- you
bring
can
us
put
all
the
back
TNT.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no way that actually worked.
I'm just waiting. Oh.
Wow,
Oh,
that actually
oh.
worked.
Hey, let's go! I got
Hey.
it.
Hey.
Except
I'm all
now I
cozy
have
up.
to move
got a
around
head?
people because there are a few
Yeah, I got a
people
head.
that are just on top of each other.
Aroused.
What do you mean?
Aroused.
What
Hey,
is
yo, I
good?
got
Jade
head now.
Stinky? Fuck, you're stinky. Shut up.
Oh,
Stinky.
nice recovery.
Thanks.
Kinky.
Thanks, man. You know, why do you guys come here?
Rod, you kid now, so
Yes,
we're back in the studio.
we like you and shit,
I've been held
bitch.
here against my will, actually.
You chained us up in the studio. I haven't opened the door since.
You come to me
I've
on the
been
day
here
of
for
my
years.
birthday.
You come to me on the day of on the day of my birthday?
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
your birthday.
It
is your
is my
birthday.
birthday.
It's
Did
your
you guys
birthday.
know?
So we are
Oh.
coming here on
Yeah.
your day of your birthday.
You
Yeah.
come to me on the day of my
And you know
daughter's
what you
wedding?
can do, chat, to help celebrate the birthday? Buy Violet Eyes now on Amazon, especially the third book, which just came out today.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
$24.99 if you buy the
In 3
paperback.
easy
and
installments.
Bro, Streamlabs the goat for that perfectly.
Dude,
timed
that's what I'm
Order now.
saying.
Supply limited.
Yeah.
Hold
Hi,
on.
It's listening.
I took many marketing classes during my time in college.
You know
Please
you're
help me.
so hot.
I have
Thanks.
to.
Oh,
Be
you're
like
hot,
me.
too.
Put yourself in debt for Jade's book.
It's so
Exactly.
complicated in here.
Yes.
I see
That's
kind of this-
what we're trying to promote here.
Hi, I'm
To
a-
support
I'm-
Jade, worth it.
Hi, I'm an
Worth it.
accountant. Don't do that. Financially be responsible with your money. Yeah, I will find you, and the IRS will.
Then buy the
Phoenix-
book for me.
Phoenix, you're
Yeah.
gonna be the chat goblin. Because your
I don't know what that
PNG
means,
is
but alright.
perfect for it. It means that I shrunk down
Oh
your
my God.
PNG and you're now sitting inside the
gosh.
chat box.
Yeah.
Oh my
Chat,
god,
my
you made
head.
it perfectly. I'm sitting right on the border too.
chat,
Yeah.
you
Oh my
better
The claws
behave.
wrap around it.
Chat, you
Yeah,
better
do it.
behave, or you're gonna get your eyes are gonna get pecked out by Phoenix. So
Yum, 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 yum,
so behave yourself, chat.
God, I
I just-
love seeing grapes.
I just imagine just the one person going, "Hey, I don't like disease. Be a cup."
Aw,
My eyes.
my manager wished me happy birthday. Aw.
Aww.
He's
Hello
so,
there, manager.
he's so gay.
We
Aw.
may
Aw.
need to talk at the future for no reason in particular. Just saying.
Why is that?
Anyways,
What?
Hmm?
Pardon? You wanna run that by me again?
Pardon?
It's still no blast of ball.
Still no best blap. Fuck! I can't read. We're off to a bad start.
Hell yeah.
Hi, we're reading today. We can't read.
We're all
You
illiterate.
can't read or speak.
Hell yeah.
I can't see
Oh.
colors.
I mean,
That's
I can
perfect.
give you some nudes.
What?
Are they in
You
You want
color?
some nudes?
Vito was complaining about noodles.
It's picture
Oh.
therapy.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, hi chat. We're back again. Back in the world of Violet Eyes reading streams. We're finishing the second book today. That's just happening. And I'm excited about it because also, hang on a second.
Oh,
There we go.
thanks.
Um because today is in addition to finishing the second book and in addition to being my birthday, it's also the release date for the third book.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
So
Oh,
nice.
people can get that now.
Yeah.
It's there in the Amazon, and the cover looks mighty fucking crisp, if I do say so myself.
It's pretty sexy.
It's pretty hot. I know it 5 times looking at it.
It's Mexi hot.
Oh,
All right.
that's an option.
Yeah, man.
What is
Yeah.
going on in chat, guys? Please.
Don't worry about it.
What?
Oh god.
What is going on here?
Don't worry about it.
Help
it's
me.
not about you right now.
What? This ain't about you, okay?
Anyways, buy
Anyway.
the book or C will find you.
Right. So, as far as I recall, there are not that many like actual trigger warnings to be discussed for this particular cluster. I would probably only really say like graphic blood and violence and strong language. Oh no, there are themes of self-harm and suicide. That one too. Yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Saying the
You
big
know,
old faha.
as a treat,
Those
you know.
words are so buff.
They're so buff.
So strong.
So manly.
Hang on, I'm gonna put the trigger warnings in
Wow,
chat.
these words are so strong. I don't know if I can get through this.
What the fuck?
Maybe we can with the power of friendship.
With my
Yeah.
this
And this gun I found.
And this gun I found!
As long as I have my friends and my blicky, nothing can get in my way.
Nothing can stop me. I've got the sticky icky icky.
Now put the money in the bag.
The fact that
gotta
you
keep
guys
our
just
friendship
did
safe
that
for
back
my
and forth
kids.
with Kyle and Elizabeth's PNGs back to back is fucking crazy.
Put your sticks in the bag. This is a hands up.
Same energy as it is hi dude, my noons.
Put your pants down and put your hands in the.
Fuck.
Fuck.
With my childhood best friend on my side and the Switch, no one can stop us.
Danielle made it home to watch. Hell yeah, welcome to this fucking place.
We're gonna crease your J's, Kakarot.
With the power of friendship and this Ruger, we'll be unstoppable.
Hey guys, no pressure, but can you rob them faster? I have a therapy appointment in 30 minutes.
I need this money for that appointment.
Please.
My insurance got denied.
My economy is in shambles. I can't afford to see my doctor. Please, I'm in so much debt. I need this money.
Yeah,
Therapist.
Oni-chan needs it right now. So please, can you put it in the bag? Thank you.
Oni-chan.
This is
He doesn't see his therapist.
What is going on right now?
Oh, hey, look at that. Look at the time here.
Oh my
Motherfucker didn't leave my song.
Damn, that's crazy. I need
Danielle says, I'm not fucking ready. Oh, wait, are you not fucking
We
ready
know
for
you're
this
not,
nonsense?
sweetheart.
Or are you not fucking ready to finish the second book? Because buckle up, baby.
The answer is yes.
ASMR Izuku Midoriya robs a convenience store.
Please, I'm sorry, but I need this money for my mom's appointment.
My mom's in critical surgery after all the villains attacked. Please.
I was
Give
gonna
me
say it's
money.
all Mike's fault. We shouldn't have gotten together.
Oh my god.
God.
Anyway, I think that's a
kill a guy.
I think that's a good segue.
Now she can't walk.
I think that's a good segue to introduce the voice actors.
Oh god, don't let them know my name.
I can't be connected to this.
So, First up,
Please.
because obviously the chat goblin,
Oh no.
that
What a great introduction.
is my dear friend, Phoenix. Haha, see what I did
Hi.
there? She voices Jessie. Ha, see what I did?
They. Thank you very much.
They fuck me and my little. Never mind. God, I'm just.
I still
You
love
know,
you. It's okay.
I need to remember this is going up on YouTube. I need to not say things that I would normally say live. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, going from 0 to demonetized real fast. All right.
No money for you.
Underneath Phoenix up there is Felix, who plays Lucas Thorne, whose character
Hello.
is not
It's not gonna
prevalent.
get confusing, I promise.
Yeah.
We don't get confused at all.
What are you talking
That character is not prevalent in the series yet, but they will be. So, you know, that's Felix though. And then there's me. I'm next in line. If you can hear my voice, you know who I am. Congratulations. There's no reward.
Damn.
Next up, we have Voltex, who
Hola.
voices Danny Aleta, who's very much prevalent.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The little shit-talking cowboy hat that is on top of Danny's head, that is Streaky Audios. If one of
I
my
will find
mods...
you.
Oh, by the way, if mods could, like, give out shout-outs, that'd be, like, really cool.
Yeah. Also, hi, hello, how you doing? I am currently Hat. I have not had the body yet, so that's why I'm Hat.
Yes. Streaky
Yes.
here plays a character named Z, who is, again, not prevalent in the story yet, but it's fine.
Oh, but I'm coming real soon.
Not with that attitude, motherfucker!
Oh.
Calm down, Matsumoto. Let them breathe.
Next in line, we have Asmos, who voices Elizabeth. What? Vito?
You deserve one too.
It's my chip! You know, Asmos. It's Asmos.
And that's
Asmos voices Elizabeth, who will become prevalent. We will meet Elizabeth in this cluster, so buckle up for that. Next in line, we have Vito, the most chaotic mod I have, I swear to God.
Hunter blasted.
He voices Orion and Kyle Lanston. Two characters are not prevalent yet, but Kyle will become prevalent in this cluster as well. We're going to be meeting him.
Hell
Very
yeah, baby.
cool. Next in
I'm ready.
line, we have a deadly spook.
Hi.
I need you idiots to talk in chat so I can fucking
Gunther.
shout it out.
No,
Everyone in this
less than
VC,
three.
type in chat right goddamn now. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
You asked, they delivered.
Yeah, wow. Anywho, right. Spook voices Nathan Oliveira and Gabriel Oliveira.
Very prevalent to this here story.
Very prevalent. Yeah.
Except for
Very
I
well
accidentally
played,
put
like-
girlfriend on accident.
Yeah,
We'll
man.
see.
Hey, I'm the cowboy around here.
Chat, dude.
Hey, I'm the cowboy around here. No.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Voltex,
Uh-huh.
get your ass in the chat.
I
did.
I don't.
He did. I see him up there. He's above Spook's actual
Bro
shout
said-
out thing.
Bro
Damn,
said
it just,
I'm not-
it just simply didn't want to recognize that you're here.
Insane.
Depression. Oh, my shout out window's not working either. You know what? That's fine. Whatever. It works out. Anyway, next in line, we have Tonks, who voices Reiko Suzuki, Jaya Suzuki, and Dr. Vladimir Faust, all three of which are not prevalent yet, but that's okay.
Goddamn.
Book 4, man, it's a doozy.
Eventually.
Next, last in line, we have Volma, who plays Isaiah Blake. Again, not prevalent. That's a running theme.
Yes. And when I am prevalent, it will be very cool for a very short time. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Babe.
Oh, now that
Yes,
thank you for the
correct.
resub for 3 months. Oh my god, you are
Let's go.
amazing. Can't wait to read
Danielle's
more.
just baby.
Well, guess what, Danielle? We're gonna be reading more right now.
No.
Oh, I should
shit.
stop. I should stop my music. Hang on. Hold. Okay. Ah,
Lock in.
Did I get everybody?
did you?
Maybe.
Yeah, I did.
Big chillin'. Even me, which is crazy, but you know.
We'll have to
Actually,
worry about
hang
half
on
these
a second.
guys.
You didn't shout yourself out.
I'm not
Of course
sure.
she doesn't.
You
Heck,
son of
I'm
a
not a
bitch.
streamer either.
Blast them, fellas.
I don't give.
What?
Yeah, I don't give a shit if you're a streamer or not. Shout yourself out, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could hear Tonks frantically typing. There it is.
Yeah.
Don't exist. Do not perceive me.
I could just hear.
I'm
I
not
could.
aware. I'm not capable of being perceived by your eyes. Keep your ocular investments away from my visage.
I just want to sit in the corner and watch.
Oh my god.
With a camera, preferably.
Oh,
Why does he have a transatlantic accent?
Not Danielle.
Because
with the
I
dear
got it.
Goodness.
Okay.
Welcome to Stream.
Yep.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Stream. What?
Hello.
Welcome to stream.
Hello.
Oh, right. He has to try to get into character for Kuroi because Kuroi is in this chapter.
Oh my god, do we have a Reese?
I'm interested to hear the
With a
actual
spoon?
rules for him.
Oh my God, where's Reese?
Fuck is...
no,
Hold
with
on,
the
hang on,
fart.
hold on, hang on, hold
I
on, hang on,
messaged
hold on,
him.
hang on.
Hang on, hold on. I'm
I
holding.
am not hanging on.
Hold on, hang on. Hang
I'm
on, hold
holding.
on.
No,
Yeah,
I'm holding.
bitch.
What's
Hang on,
happening?
hold on.
What's going on? I'm holding.
I'm pulling up the cliff.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
Oh, thank you, strategic. Blah, 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 blah.
Hi, Strat. Bye, Strat.
Hi, Strat. Bye, Strat. What am I holding on for, Bebo?
For a hero.
A hero.
I'm holding on for a hero till the edge of the night.
He's gotta be strong.
He's gotta be fast. He's gotta
And
be
he's gotta
fresh
be
from the
fresh
fire.
from the
fire.
fire.
I need a hero.
I need a hero.
This is
Big
a wacky,
dick.
wacky ass
What,
Valentine's
Voltix?
karaoke.
What?
Bro, I got everybody's audio all nice and balanced. So that was heard. What's up? Like, speak out
I
truth.
don't think it was. I think because you said what, you didn't hear it. So
Oh, I heard it.
I think you should say it again.
I don't think I should.
Say it again, coward.
Do it again.
Wait, that
Okay,
has
say it
different
again,
implications.
motherfucker.
Wait.
Dare you to do it again.
Say
you
it,
fart.
Kushnike.
Oh,
Do it
oh
again.
shit. The silence.
Spook bless
good.
you for blessing my fucking messages, dude. I mean, I could kiss you, dude.
Yeah. Bet.
Yeah. What the
Oh
dick?
my goodness.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Treasure
Love
train.
video.
Thanks
Aw.
for the gift subs. I would
Come on,
love
give-
to know
Give it
why.
a gift.
What? I would love to know why my sound alerts are just not working.
Didn't
What's
they
a
not work last
treasure
time?
train?
Help. Help me.
I just needed
Oh.
you to know. I love you.
Thank you, though, Daniel.
Well, there's that.
Uh,
Okay, the ghost love just came through. Cool.
Let's do one of these.
When did you redeem ghost love? What happened?
a hot minute ago.
Hang on, I'm gonna test.
Take that, depression.
Oh, it's working. They're working. Oh wow. Sunny 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Thanks for the bits, you
Alexi.
guys. Oh my god.
Hello.
you.
I'm really
my
sad.
God.
You know what? I'm gonna play something. I'm gonna play one of my redeems because my hype train redeem did not play because it was being silly and
Oopsie.
stupid. So therefore, I'm going to do. Where is it? Where is it? Oh shit! Where is it?
Oh, Vito, I need to send you
There it
an
is.
edit from Invincible
shit.
I found
that
it.
I've been vibing for like the last 3 days.
Let's go.
Oh right, that reminds me. Voltix redeemed that I get stoned. So thanks for that.
Oh yeah.
That's not okay.
Slang.
Biblically or non-biblically?
I did the vape.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I have a THC vape, you bozo.
Aw.
Oh, that's just called the Benjamin. What?
Fine, after stream I'll
was
change
founded
the
in 1935.
I thought that was a hit of the vape, like your actual vape.
No, it's fine.
Is that not it?
It's whatever she has at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Both at the same time. You're like, "Ooh."
I'm not changing my PNG, Felix. This is a reading stream.
Then
What?
why is that redeem on?
Because I don't
Wait.
have the patience to go in and turn them off.
That's not the right one. What? No, that's the one where you make me a creature. What? I don't understand.
No, that's where you make me a creature, and I change my PNG into my creature PNG.
Man, I don't.
In fairness,
I don't
it
read
is
Braille.
confusing wording.
Not that I don't read well.
You're
Make me a creature. I thought you were gonna doodle something.
I am so
Can you still doodle something?
I suck at doodling.
Oh, shit.
I fired.
What? Fucking what?
Not hard.
Anyway, so for this chapter, we need someone to narrate, and we will need somebody to fill in for Narissa. Narissa.
I don't have a character. I'll do Narissa.
Okay.
Oh right.
Yeah. I can
narrow. Oh, go ahead, my love.
Excuse me, I haven't taken him out to dinner. You can't call me that. Second. I mean, if you want to narrate, you can. I was just going to take it if no one else wants to.
Okay. I can attempt until my dyslexia decides that it's not okay anymore.
Oh damn, you too.
I believe you. We're all dyslexic in this house.
Like 75% of this cast has
Yeah.
dyslexia.
I still remember
for
that
yourself, I'm not
fucking meme
dyslexic.
you posted where the guy's leaning back on the couch, but his fucking 7-foot long straw is dipping into the water labeled dyslexia. And it just says, ah, yes, who would like to narrate?
Accurate.
Nice.
Oh, my lord.
Right. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Aye, Captain.
Oh.
I can't hear you.
Captain.
We don't. Please, we cannot be this autistic.
Shut up, we're gonna get DMCA'd.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, oopsie.
Chapter 14. To become the hero. Danny stepped forward with anger lacing his gaze. He gripped Damien's knife tightly in his hand, wanting nothing more than to drive it into Koroi's neck. The head of the Arabesque hand stood his ground, not showing an ounce of fear on his face.
Where's my daughter?
Kaya asked sternly as he held his hands behind his back.
Oh, so? She's busy dealing with your pointless precautions.
Danny responded as he spun the blade in his fingers.
Besides, I thought you wanted to see me.
Karai's lip curled in irritation.
Awfully bold you are. Almost as if you aren't aware that you won't be leaving this room alive.
Karai growled calmly as he lifted his hand at his side, twisting his arm in the same motion he did before. Narissa's eyes widened as she recognized the jester.
Danny, he's going to summon shadow puppets.
She warned him loudly. A second after she yelled, 3 shadow puppets stepped out from the shadows cast on the walls. Danny looked around at them with subtle concern on his face. These things had claws, large claws. Danny's attention moved back to Koroi's when he moved his arm to point at Danny. The puppets all turned their attention to him before moving towards him at a determined speed. Danny inhaled sharply but held his ground, waiting for the perfect moment. The puppet close to him pulled its arm back and a vision crashed into Danny. He saw the puppet slash open his throat with its massive claws. When Danny was back in his own body, he reacted instantly and shifted his left foot across the ground as he bent his right knee. He ducked under the claw as his left foot collided with the puppet's ankle, causing it to lose balance and fall over Danny. He brought up Damien's dagger and sent it into the puppet's neck. Danny quickly shifted his grip on the dagger to his other hand as he placed his free hand on the puppet's stomach. He pushed up on the puppet's stomach and flipped it over his head. The puppet crashed onto the second puppet. Man, as it tried to close the distance, the second puppet stumbled backwards as the first slammed into the ground, fading away on impact. Danny didn't waste a second and bolted towards the stumbling puppet with a slight grin on his face. He wiped a knife at the stumbling puppet and it stabbed into where its mouth would be, if it had one. The force of the throw caused the puppet to stick to the wall for a moment before fading away. Danny continued running towards the dagger still stuck in the wall, knowing the final puppet was close behind him. Danny jumped up and grabbed the handle of the dagger as his feet planted against the wall. He grunted stiffly as he pushed off the wall with his legs and turned around. The knife was pulled out of the wall and Danny brought it in front of him. He stabbed it into the chest of the last puppet, and Danny's weight sent both of them to the ground. Danny planted his knees on the puppet's arms to pin it before he jerked his knife through the puppet's chest. He cut it from the chest to the bottom of its chin. The puppet faded away into the black wisp before. Danny stood up and locked eyes with Koroi. Nerissa felt a small smile form on her face from watching her brother dispatch three threats so efficiently.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
Danny said in a dark tone as he tossed the blade into the air. It flipped once before Danny caught it again. Koroi's eyes narrowed slightly, wondering if this boy was just being cocky. Danny knew he wasn't cocky. He was confident and determined. Koroi let out a short hum.
It appears I will.
He said in a low tone as he lifted his right arm across his body and swiped it back in place. Three shadow tendrils shot out from the wall to Danny's right, way faster than Damien's shadows moved. Another vision crashed through Danny. He saw himself turn to face the tendrils before they all stabbed straight into his heart with disturbing accuracy. Danny was back in his body as the tendrils closed in. Nerissa's eyes grew wide with fear and worry. Danny quickly shifted his weight to his right foot and brought up his knife, his free hand behind it, and to add more support. There was a loud clang as the tendrils collided with his blade that was protecting his heart. The force of the tendrils sent Danny stumbling backwards until his back hit the wall. Another vision, a large tendril crushing his head. Danny ducked as the tendril crashed into the wall above him. He rolled out from under it to avoid the debris, the momentum carrying him back to his feet. He could tell Croy was getting frustrated.
Danny, look out!
Nerissa yelled before a blunt shadow struck Danny on the side of his head. He was sent to the ground with his hand on his head, already feeling the blood trickling down.
Seems that I must use non-lethal attacks in order to wear you down.
Roy growled as he took a few steps toward him. Danny growled in frustration as he stood up, his head still throbbing from the impact.
Damn it, figured it out.
Danny thought to himself before he remembered what had given him the upper hand against Damien in the arena. Danny whipped his head forward and threw the blade at Koroi with insane speed, aiming right for his face. Instead of the blade being parried like Damien did, a shadow caught it, stopped dead in its track an inch away from Koroi's face.
Didn't even flinch.
Danny's eyes widened as he was struck in shock.
You're in over your head, boy.
Koroi growled before another tendril shot forward and wrapped around Danny's throat. He was lifted off the ground as the tendril squeezed tightly, limiting his breathing. Danny clutched the tendril to pry it off, but it wasn't working.
Danny, no! Stop!
Nerissa screamed and pleaded as she slammed her fist against the glass. Koroi thrusted his hand forward, and the tendril slammed Danny against the plexiglass cell and held him in place. He grunted in pain as he squinted his eyes, struggling to breathe.
You both need to learn that your actions have consequences.
Roy growled as he turned the tendril that had caught the knife, the blade pointing right at Danny before another vision crashed into his mind. He watched the knife stab right into his heart, deep enough that the hilt was touching his chest. Danny was brought back into his own body with fear in his eyes. Nerissa had the same gaze as she backed away from the wall. She didn't want to believe this was really happening in front of her. Korai flicked the knife at Danny with impossible speed. Danny clenched his eyes shut, braced for the pain he knew would only last for a moment. Crash! Danny's eyes flicked open when he heard the loud crash of a window shattering. Danny, Nerissa, Koroi, and Koroi watched in surprise as Rice burst through the window in between Danny and Koroi. Reese caught the blade
You're
in
fine.
his mouth as he soared through the air. He spun his body and used his claws to slash the tendril that was holding Danny. He dropped quickly with a deep gaze as he could finally breathe fully. He landed on his feet before dropping to one knee, coughing and clutching his throat.
Danny, are you okay?
Nerissa kneeled down behind him on the other side of the glass, overjoyed that Reese showed up when he did. Danny said through his deep breaths as he raised his head to glare at Koroi.
I'm okay. Nice.
He said, lying
Reese
through
took-
his teeth.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh my
guys.
A scratch.
Anyway.
Didn't hurt at all.
Just taste spot of flesh wound. Yep.
Reese stood up straight as he took the dagger out of his mouth, growling with each breath. Do we
You're
have a
screwed
Reese?
now, shadow fucker.
He growled out
Okay,
before his
shit.
pupils shrank into slits. He threw his knife behind him. Danny stood up swiftly and caught the blade before rushing towards Koroi. Reese sprinted forward with his claws bared before he reached back to send a wide slash at Kage at the same time Danny was rushing him. Koroi lifted both his hands high in the air, and a tornado of shadows surrounded him. Danny halted, knowing he would be ripped to shreds if he touched that. Rice kept advancing, losing all concern for himself as he slashed his claws through the tornado. It broke the flow of the shadows and caused a small hole where Rice could see Koroi. Rice reached in and grabbed Koroi by the collar of his shirt before yanking him out. Koroi gritted his teeth in anger and surprise as Rice turned his body. He threw Koroi towards Danny, where he landed roughly on his back in front of him. Danny quickly kneeled on Koroi's arm to pin him as he pressed the blade against his throat.
Is that my line?
Yes.
I believe it is, Danny.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Seems to me like you're the one who's in over their head.
Danny mused into Koroi's face as he leaned down. The adrenaline had not yet faded to be replaced by the thumping in his head.
It would look that way, wouldn't it?
Oof. Koroi responded before Danny yelled in pain. A shadow tendril stabbed through his shoulder from behind. Danny could hear Nerissa calling out for him as he was pulled off Koroi. The blade slipped from his grip as the tendril whipped Danny into the glass of Nerissa's cell. A bit of its blood splattered on the plexiglass, and Nerissa felt like she was going to be sick from the fear. Danny clutched his shoulder to stop the bleeding before he looked at Koroi. He was standing up and brushing off his clothes before he turned around, hearing Rise roar in rage. He saw Rise rushing towards him with murderous intent. Koroi flicked his hands toward Reese, and a shadow tendril with thorns coated it latched around Reese. It held his arm to his body, and he growled in violent pain. Blood started dripping as the thorns tore into his skin.
Reese!
Nerissa yelled as Danny's eyes went wide. Koroi turned back to Danny with a calm face. He walked towards him in a determined stride. Danny tried shifting his body to stand up before Koroi wrapped another shadow around his throat. Holding him against the glass, the head of the Erebus clan bent down and calmly picked up his son's blade before he stopped in front of Danny. He lifted his head, struggling to breathe as he glared at Koroi with every ounce of hatred he had.
Oh, don't look at me like that.
Kuroi spoke softly as he gently ran his thumb down the edge of the blade in his hand.
You made an enemy of the Erebus clan. The last enemy you will ever make.
Kuroi growled as he lifted a dagger, ready to slash Danny's throat. Nerissa, who had been frozen in sickening fear and dread, suddenly snapped back into focus when she heard Danny call her name.
That was
Danny
not a
choked
quiet
out of
wheeze.
in a
You're fine.
quiet wheeze.
Go away.
Nerissa's eyes widened as tears flowed out instantly. She bowed her head and gripped her hair tightly, tearing her eyes away from her brother as her heart shattered. She suddenly heard a loud yell of pain, but her eyes jolted open when she realized it was far too deep to be Danny's voice. She looked up and saw Kuroi's face twisted in pain. With Reese standing behind him, he was covered in cuts from the thorn-covering tendril, and had just slashed Kuroi across his back, his claws dripping with blood.
Get the fuck away from him!
Reese yelled
Let's
angrily as he
go.
gripped Kuroi's clothes, then threw him away from Danny. The tendril around Danny's throat loosened as Kuroi slammed into the wall. Danny took in another deep breath as Reese fell to one knee. He was feeling the burning pain from the cuts coating his body. Kuroi lifted himself off the ground with the help of the bookshelf next to him.
I see I underestimated you.
He growled out through his pain before he sent his hands out on his sides. Black wings of shadow sprouted from Kuroi's shoulder blades before he leaped to the window Reese had entered from. His feet planted on the windowsill of the shadow window and turned his head to look at the two boys.
Seems I must make more preparations. See you another time.
He said before he leaped out the window and out of sight. Danny used the glass as leverage to lift himself off the ground. He quickly turned to Nerissa and placed his hand against the glass.
Are you okay?
He asked her with pain in his voice. The adrenaline was fading away now. The adrenaline was then kicked into overdrive when he saw the terrible look on your eyes,
Danny?
she whispered in a shocked voice as he looked past him. He slowly turned around and his eyes went wide in fear. He saw Reese facing away from him, clutching his head as he tried to calm down from his raging form. What Danny could see, it wasn't working.
Reese?
Danny whispered as his heart went into overdrive. Reese's head whipped around to look at Danny before he lunged forward. His hand clutched Danny's throat and slammed him against the glass. Danny stared into his friend's burning, rage-filled eyes as he growled out breath after breath.
Reese.
Danny choked out as Reese squeezed his throat.
It's me. It's Danny.
Danny clutched his friend's arm and attempted to pry Reese's hand off his throat as Nerissa stepped forward, her eyes filled with tears.
Reese.
Nerissa's voice broke as she called his name. Reese's eyes moved to look at Nerissa.
Reese. It's us. Your friends.
Nerissa pleaded, almost at her limit from the horrible thing she'll seen today. Reese's breathing slowed slightly before his eyes swiveled back to Danny's scared gaze. Danny watched as Reese's pupils slowly focused on his face.
Danny?
Reese whispered as he finally regained control of himself. He looked down and saw his hand around Danny's throat. Shock spread across his face before he released Danny quickly. He gasped deeply before rubbing his throat, coughing roughly.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Reese radiated remorse as he held his hands up.
Relax, Reese. It's not the first time you tried to choke me out, and it probably won't be the last.
Danny said calmly as he continued rubbing his throat. He turned around to face the cell before looking left and right. He spotted a small keypad to his right, and he walked over to it. He placed his fingertips on the pad, and his eyes shimmered silver. He then typed a code into the keypad, and the cell popped open. Nerissa wordlessly left the cell and practically fell into Danny's chest in a warm hug.
Are you okay?
Danny asked her with a gentle tone as he hugged her closely. Reese smiled softly as he watched them. Danny was bloody and bruised and still asking if she was okay. Nerissa slightly nodded into his chest and Danny exhaled in gentle relief.
Come on. We have to get back to the others and get out of here.
He said as he bent down and picked up Damien's knife once again.
Scene
Damn.
change, am I right?
God damn. Jesus.
How many times
Am I
Danny almost
right, fellers?
fucking died?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
Phil.
happened.
Daniel was died number 553.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle over there in chat was having an absolute moment during that entire
Oh,
scene.
absolutely.
Good.
It's fine. He's alive, ain't he? It's fine.
For now.
He's alive?
He's
Question
breathing.
mark?
He's breathing. It's
Yeah.
fine.
His heart's still there, kicking.
Well, I was hard of breathing, but you know.
Yeah. Aha.
Oh my lord. Anyway, scene change. Felix, you may proceed when ready.
Danny, Reese, and Nerissa walked up the stairs. Nerissa clutching onto Danny's arm. Reese opened the door, and the three of them stepped inside before halting at the sight that greeted them. Nate and Soul were laying on the ground. They both had clearly been beaten unconsciously. They all looked up at Nyx, who was standing between them and their unconscious friends.
I'll write this.
Facing away from the three of them, Nyx turned around to face her friends. Danny and Nerissa breath hitched in their throats when they saw her blood-red eyes and emotionless expression.
Nyx?
Danny whispered in shock as he felt Nerissa's grip on his arm get tighter. The door suddenly slammed behind them, and the three of them whipped around to see Gabrielle glaring down at them, all with a crazed smile.
Magnifica, is she not?
Sorry. Whew. I'm fine.
Everybody catch their
Ga-
breath.
Processing?
Gabriel said.
What?
Gabriel said as he lifted his eyes to look at Nyx, who was standing still and staring.
My new favorite puppet.
Danny's brow bent down in anger as they all backed away from him.
She is not your puppet. What did you do to her?
He yelled in rage. Something was so unbelievably wrong here, and he knew it.
He's controlling her mind.
Reese answered for Gabriel as he backed up alongside them. Danny glanced at Reese when he spoke before he looked back at Gabriel. He didn't want to let him out of his sight.
We beat Kuroi. Kuroi?
You got it. Yeah.
Bro. You got it.
Yeah, my fault, my fault. We beat Kuroi. Dude.
Oh, dude.
Saga, no, it's alright.
No, that's his name now. It's Kiroy.
Bro, why am I putting a Y there?
Think of it as like coup, like the French word.
Kuluyaku.
Coup.
I believe in you, buddy.
You've got this.
Yeah.
Bro, I could tell I was gonna do it again.
All right, I'll give you
Take your
big,
time,
big
sweetie.
smooch if you do it right.
We beat K-Man.
Alright, he doesn't say it fast, you know, I just go slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
We beat Kuroi and he ran away.
You got it.
Just keep doing the best
And
you
he
can.
ran away like a coward. Release Nyx and leave.
Yeah.
Danny
tell him.
ordered as he gripped Damien's knife tighter with his free hand.
Well, Kage was right about you. You are ballsy. I like that. But he wants your head, and has paid me to help him achieve that goal.
Gabriel's crimson eyes hardened on Danny, causing them all to take another step back.
Gabriel!
Everyone looked at the source of the yell and saw Nate had regained his consciousness. He was limping toward his father with a tired determination. His head was bleeding from a wound unknown to the others.
You're still kicking, huh, mijo?
Gabriel taunted as he slid his hand into his pocket.
Yeah, I'm still kicking, and I'm also warning you.
Nate growled as he brought his hand up to his head to combat the pounding in his brain.
You will not have her.
Nate told him in a dark tone as his eyes flashed crimson red, just like Gabriel's. He glared into his father's eyes with a stabbing gaze. Gabriel tensed slightly as his eyes glowed brighter before Nate spoke his command with an even yet angrier tone.
Gabriel, go to sleep.
Gabriel's eyes fluttered shut, and he
Yeah,
fell to the
yes,
ground.
sir.
As he fell, Nick suddenly gasped before her own eyes shut, and she fell. Nate quickly reacted and caught her in his arms. He checked her breathing as his eyes faded back into their normal shade of green. He let out a sigh of relief when he could feel her faint breathing. She was just unconscious, most likely from the grip on her mind being ripped away. Nate stood up while holding Nick's princess style as he
Princess?
turned to his friend. Princess style.
Princess.
Princess style. As he turned to his friend.
Oh, princess.
Reese, you grab Soul.
Yeah.
We gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nate's tone was serious, but clearly exhausted. Reese nodded quickly before he ran over and picked up Soul off the ground. They all ran out of the estate after that, realizing fully at this moment that their cozy little lake house was no longer safe.
Yep, think.
End of chapter.
Oh, baby. It's sleep talk.
Sleep talk.
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah.
Well done all around, VAs.
Well, all done. Well, all done? Well done all around,
done.
yes.
Well done.
All right, that's the end of stream. We'll see y'all
No!
next.
Alright,
2
see y'all
weeks.
next
That's it. Bye, guys.
I'm
That's
here.
it.
I'm here for moral support.
Same here.
Special shout out to Voltix and Spook. Well fucking done.
Holy
And the
shit. I
emotional
agree.
support move.
Oh, thank you for the celebration time, Danielle.
Yeah.
You Roy, dude.
Keep rolling.
I'm so sorry when that happened, especially with the hat. There's the video of this southern girl who says she's like Malte, Watashi ga Anata in like the most southern accent possible. And that's,
I saw, dude.
yeah, that's like the only thing that was going through my head. I was like, oh my god.
Watashi ga kita, partner.
Oh no, Chan. K-tape.
Oh my
Oni-chan.
god, y'all.
Watashi wa
Watashi ga
Speaking, speaking southern.
southern girls my
Watashi
dude.
Yanage. I am the
Yo,
true
what
Hokage,
the
Naruto.
fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Don't worry about the throne.
Mask?
Ooh.
Oh,
Hee-hee.
what happened?
What did he do?
Mask just bought a $300 audio mixer off my throne. What
Yeah, that's pretty-
the
Happy
fuck?
Yeah,
birthday!
but so hot. Yeah, you wanna make out, dude?
Right
You
here,
offer?
right now.
Right here, right now, dude.
Fuck, come here, Dad.
And
Y'all
the
pucker up,
stream
dude.
deck.
Jade, Jade
And-
just
Fuck it, I'll-
having like a
and-
meltdown over this audio mixer, and then these two are like, "You wanna make out?"
And the stream deck. Hang on. And the
And the
stream
stream
deck.
deck.
That is another
Hell yeah.
$300.
I'll
Let's
sloppy
fucking
make out
go,
with you, bro.
Mask.
Happy birthday!
What the
Happy
fuck?
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yo, I'll dip you in everything in the
Just gonna
tango,
bring a
bro.
birthday gift to my birthday party at a birthday.
Dude,
birthday
like-
Sitting there with
in
barbecue
front of
sauce
my
on
chat,
titties.
bro? Really? Like,
brother, rub me in Old Bay. You got this.
what?
Rub me in Old Bay.
Fuck, dude, I'm Southern. Give me some Old Bay and rub me.
In front of Nate, in front of his mother's van.
Nah, in the van.
Oh my god.
Right
Even
inside
worse.
Mary's van?
What?
What?
Inside her van?
Wait,
She's gonna
why?
bring me a
Wait,
birthday
hang
gift
on a
with my
second.
birthday-
Why did
with
the
my birthday
oh
party,
the
my
throne
birthday with a
command
birthday
did
gift?
work? Never mind. The
Oh,
throne
yeah.
command worked. It's fine. We're fine. We're big chilling.
It's 'cause
Anyway.
it has to be in caps.
Nani? Thank you, Phoenix.
Not even the fuck.
Nani?
Nani? Anyway, chapter 15. Am I right?
Ooh.
Yeah, chapter 15.
Sleep talk. Am I right?
Let's
go,
go,
girls.
girls.
This will
Yeah.
be
No.
such a good chapter, guys.
Talk sleep, you cool?
Talk
Uh-huh.
sleep.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do we have?
Politics? No.
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 Bro, I'm. Man, I can't. I don't want to spoil it, bro. But
It's fine. It's fine.
Do
We'll
we-
get
Just aroused.
You're
Do we
gonna
have
say this?
actors for each of us?
Hello?
Yes!
Yes!
Change of sound, Jesus, motherfucker.
Hey.
I apologize for my lack of punctuality.
You're
It's okay.
fine.
What's different?
You're
I
lying.
cannot be rumbling my headphones like this.
You can rumble so many parts of me.
Oh.
Do not treat this man like a PlayStation controller.
That is so cute. I love it.
Nah, I'm gonna treat him like one of those, like fight sticks.
Wait a second.
There we go.
Sigma,
Yeah.
you're not in
Shake weights.
uniform.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Wait is wild.
Why aren't you
Get
in
your ass in
uniform?
uniform.
I'm pushing the button. I'm pushing the button. There we go.
Potato.
There he
Yeah,
is.
there you go.
Push it
There
real
you
good.
go.
Yay.
There,
Yay.
he's gonna sit on top
Hi,
of
Sigma.
Hi, Felix.
Did you?
Too many voice actors. Not
Oh my
enough
god,
space.
guys, there's so many fucking sound alerts going off right now. I just thank you for the resub, Sigma. Thank you for the gifted sub, Volma. My lord, y'all.
Hey, Jade, Loki, real quick.
What?
Do you have any other dono methods?
Yeah.
Man, these alerts, the iPad baby in me is very happy.
I do.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
I have. I think that the donate panel on my actual Twitch like profile. I think that will take me to, or take anyone who clicks it to my Venmo. I think.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Real shit.
I have a Ko-fi too, but Ko-fi kind of
Sucks. Yeah, I know.
it'll only allow me to connect my PayPal, and PayPal robs me blind. So
Fair enough.
Yo, fuck PayPal.
Honestly, like, what's the point if you're just gonna connect to PayPal?
literally, like, dude, let me connect with Venmo. They only take like 10 cents.
That's all I have anyway.
Yeah,
That
real.
was me. I was very upset when Zell shut its apps down.
Oh, also, Sigma, the link is inside chat.
I'm already there.
Oh my
I'm
god.
searching chapter 15.
It's
We're-
inside the house.
What a gamer. What a gamer you
Inside
are.
the house.
Look at you. He's in the
God,
house.
it's
He's
coming
in
from
memories.
inside the house.
I hate this chapter.
It's okay. Voltix, deep breaths, buddy. Deep breaths. You can get through this.
Deeper.
Huh? Am I being cold?
Maybe I'll just I'll go on a walk. Have someone else fill it.
No. do
Danny
it.
doesn't need to go on another walk.
No.
Uh,
The last time I went on a walk, good things did not happen.
Wait, why? Why did you do that to me? Oh man.
Bro, you. I was about to say you walked right into that one.
I guess I did.
I feel like that's not going to be code for this. It's just like, let's go out for a walk. No.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
They said Venmo isn't working for them.
What the fuck?
Oh,
How rude! How rude of
Guys.
Venmo.
damn.
So
I guess you'll just have to go to Amazon and get Violet Eyes, I guess. Buy another copy.
It's crazy.
another
If
copy
only
of-
there were a link to send you straight to Violet Eyes, like.
Oh my god.
Like that one.
Yeah. Oh wow!
It's
what a
listening. It knows.
What a
Shit, man.
coincidence!
What if you send it straight to your boy? I mean, you know, what a coincidence.
I imagine you're like doing the shy fingers at the moment.
Shy fingers. Damn, that's
Yeah, like the
damn.
like the
Low-key,
anime like two fingers.
Low-key, that's kind of harder to do than it looks.
Yeah, it is.
Speak for yourself. I can do it without even looking.
Yeah, same.
I could do you without
Because
looking.
you're a bottom.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I will kill myself. Sigma.
Same
Yeah.
hat, Sigma.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who had the thought, but like you really just outed yourself. unnecessarily. Unfair.
I didn't do Jack Diddley.
Yeah, man.
You didn't do
So
shit
what
for
about-
Jack.
What
I
about Jack
back. I
Squiggly,
didn't do anything. What do you mean you didn't do anything? Danielle?
Jack's Squilliam Fansington?
I got another new. You got
Yeah, ooh. Bing bang. What about
Danielle got me my like portable fucking sound booth.
Oh.
hell yeah.
Nice.
I
Fucking sick, dude.
You will be spoiled on your birthday, and you will like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Rubbed on forehead.
What?
On forehead.
What the fuck? Sorry. Anyway, chapter 15. Sleep talk.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break from narration and pass it to someone else, or are you big chillin'? Because it's up to you.
I'm good with either or.
Make a
I can
decision.
narrate if need be, because I was hyper late, so I need to do something useful.
I mean, you
Right,
voiced
right.
one of the main
Baby.
characters.
I
Yeah.
think you're in this chapter, so
Yeah, he
you'll
is.
be good.
You literally
Yeah.
voiced one of the main characters. He's like, God, I wish I was useful. I'll kill you.
If only I could do a thing.
Hello.
Squeakers. I don't know. Heard
Hi,
another
Peter.
soul entered.
Oh my god, hello.
Hi, speakers.
Hi, squeakers.
By the way, fair
Signature.
warning, I am
Signature.
live.
Baby,
McSqueakerton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, see, they
Sigma, I
supposed to
love
know
you.
that it says live reading.
Hey.
Live.
You'd be
with
surprised.
Hyper eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
That's true.
loud.
Actually.
For Cybear specifically, is the one who always comes into VC and is like, wait, you're live? Yes, bitch. I'm in the stream room.
I'm in a VC that says live
Well,
reading.
In
Yes,
that
the
case, I
status
won't
says
reveal
live.
the blacklist. If you're live.
Oh my god. Anyway, right, Felix, you may
Ready?
fire when ready.
Yeah.
Chapter 15 Sleep Talk. Nate gently placed Nix in the back seat of his mother's van as Danny got in onto the other side. Reese was sitting in the passenger seat after placing Soul in the seat behind Nix. With Narissa sitting next to her, Reese rested his hand against the headrest and was breathing deeply to combat the burning pain all over his body.
Keep an eye on her.
Nate said quietly as he buckled Nick's seatbelt and looked at Danny.
Of course.
Danny responded as he placed a hand on Nix's forehead. Danny got slightly worried when he noticed she felt warm.
She's warm. Probably a side effect of that psycho's mind control. Who the hell was that guy?
Danny asked Nate as he settled into the driver's seat and turned on the van. Nate and Reese exchanged a look before Nate exhaled deeply.
That was my dad.
Nate responded quietly. Danny looked at the back of Nate's head with a shocked expression.
That was your father?
Danny asked in disbelief.
What is it? Oh, okay, I see. That tripped me up. What is it with everyone's parents being crazy?
Danny asked rhetorically before he placed a hand on Nix's arm. Her skin was cold, contrasting with her fever that was not good.
Nix's body temperature is all over the place. What do we do?
Why are you asking us? You're the smart one.
Reese claimed Reese chimed as he tilted his head backwards slightly.
Well, excuse me if I don't know what to do when someone is unconscious after being mind controlled. They didn't teach us that in school.
Danny responded with extreme sarcasm to hide his genuine worry. He didn't want to risk losing another friend. Nate sighed as he glanced at Nix through the rearview mirror before pressing his feet on the gas.
I'm sorry, Danny. We didn't mean to press you like that. Let's just get her back to the house and put her in bed. You know, keep her comfortable until she wakes up.
Nate said as he drove away from the Erebus estate.
You really want to go back to the lake?
Reese chimed in as he adjusted his posture.
Troy knows where that place is. It's not safe as long as he's alive.
You mean you didn't kill him?
Nate glanced at Reese in disbelief.
No, he ran away like a coward. Besides, what are you so shocked about? You didn't kill your old man.
Damn, what the fuck? Reese shot back with a hint of attitude.
Yeah, well, can you really blame me, Reese? Yeah, he's a psycho and he does horrible things for a paycheck, but at the end of the day, he's still my dad. And besides, I just wanted to get Nix out of there as fast as possible.
Oh. I took my eyes out for 1 second. Nate said quietly as he gripped the steering wheel tightly. Reese sighed.
I get it, dude. You're right. We should just be glad we all got out of there alive.
Reese responded as he turned his head to look out the window.
It's unlikely Kuroi will attack so soon anyway. Reese missed him pretty good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you snickered.
Danny added as he felt Nix's forehead again, still warm. As Nate and Reese continued talking, Danny leaned around the back of his seat to look at his sister.
You okay?
He asked her softly, enough that the others didn't hear. Nerissa lifted her head to look him in the eyes.
I will be. I thought you were gonna die.
Nerissa's voice broke as she whispered back to him. Danny reached forward and placed his hand on her knee.
I know. I thought so too. But hey, I'm alive, you're alive, we're all alive. It's okay.
Danny's voice was calm and smooth, and it put Nerissa's swirling mind at ease slightly. However, she knew that the things she saw tonight wouldn't leave her mind for a long time.
Felix, you're a good narrator.
Oh, thank you.
It's almost like, dude, are you
so
are
much
you like
emotion.
are you like a DM?
Oh my gosh, I went to like college or something.
Damn, flexing on the rest of it.
I went to
well, I did drop out, so like.
Me too.
Well, let's go drop out game.
Oh my god, me too. That's so
Game.
crazy. Drop out gang.
Water.
Wow.
Shush you.
The door to the lake.
Oh, yeah. Continue.
The door to the lake house swung open, and Reese entered first, carrying Soul, as she was still unconscious. Nate entered next, carrying Nix. Reese climbed the staircase with Soul as Danny and Nerissa entered the house after them.
I'm gonna put her to bed. And probably go to bed myself. I'm over tonight.
Reese said casually as he climbed higher up the stairs.
Actually,
Nerissa piped up, and all eyes landed on her.
if you would all meet me in the bathroom upstairs, I'll heal your wounds. Nate, you can put Nix to bed since she isn't physically injured. She needs rest.
Nerissa said solemnly before she released Danny's hand for the first time since leaving the van and headed upstairs. Danny watched everyone walk upstairs as he massaged his aching shoulder wound before he followed them. Nate entered Nix's room with her cradling in his arms, his favorite place for her to be. Oh. He gently placed her on her bed before he moved down to her feet and removed her shoes so she'll be more comfortable. He set her shoes down on the ground before he pulled the covers up to her chin so she wouldn't get cold. Nate then stopped for a moment and looked at her, His heart hurt.
I am such a chicken shit.
He thought to himself as his fists clenched.
I just froze up. And Gabriel almost made her kill all of us. What would have happened to her then?
Nate sighed as he closed his eyes and breathed deeply for a moment before he turned around to go to the bathroom for healing. When he entered the bathroom, Reese and Sol were already gone. Nate assumed they were both healed and in bed already. He watched as Nerissa brought a glowing ball of water into Danny's chest. It soaked through his shirt and skin as Danny sighed in relief, his wounds closing and fading away.
Thank you, Neri.
Danny said quietly, with a small smile. Nerissa only responded with a weak smile and a nod. Danny stood up and turned around to see Nate standing in the doorway. Nate smirked at him faintly before bringing up his hand and patting Danny's shoulder twice. Danny's shoulders twice.
Thanks for coming back safely.
He said before Danny nodded with a faint smile as he walked past him. Danny walked slowly down the hall with his hand on his head. He almost died in that fight. He was expecting to die in that fight. He cursed under his breath when he thought about how it would affect Nerissa. His last words to her would have been to look
Oh,
away.
okay.
Yeah.
Either one could have read it. It's fine.
Not exactly profound. Danny's body told him to stop when he came to Nix's door. The door itself was slightly ajar, and he could see her sleeping soundly in her bed. Danny peeked down the hall towards the bathroom before he slowly pushed open the door and stepped inside. He just wanted to check on her fever again. He walked up to her bedside and placed the back of his hand on Nix's forehead. It was still warm, not any worse or better than before. He took a deep breath as his gaze softened on her chest. Then he lifted his hand off her forehead before he clutched it into a fist next to his head, expressing his frustration with himself.
Damn it. Why are these feelings not going away?
Danny dropped his hand as he leaned his head back with a deep sigh. Ever since the night of the festival, Danny had felt strange around Nyx. A sudden increase in his pulse when she would say his name, a sudden heat in his blood when she looked into his eyes. He refused to admit this feeling was, even though he could wager a guess. Danny suddenly heard movement at the door and looked to see Nate standing there with a washcloth in his hand.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Nate asked in a whisper as he walked past him to place the washcloth on Nyx's forehead.
I came to check on her fever again. It hasn't gotten any better, but it also hasn't gotten any worse.
Danny whispered in response as he rubbed the back of his own neck.
Where's Neri?
She went to bed. I assume she's pretty tired.
Nate responded as he lifted Nyx's desk chair off the ground and moved it next to her bed, making as little noise as possible. He didn't sit down, though.
Danny, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me.
Nate said evenly, causing Danny's heart to flutter with anxiety. There were an infinite number of things Nate could ask him, but his mind feared the worst.
Okay, sure.
Danny responded, not letting on how scared he was. Nate took a deep breath before he spoke.
Did something happen between you and Nyx the other night?
Nate asked softly. Danny's heart slammed against his ribs. There it was, the worst possible question.
What are you talking about?
Danny asked him as he put on his best confused voice. Nyx made him promise not to tell anyone what she did. More accurately, what she almost did. He didn't want to betray that trust.
I saw you guys coming back from the wood the night of that big thunderstorm. Your arm was around her and she was wearing a jacket.
Danny's eyes widened slightly when Nate looked at him with a stern gaze.
I saw you through the window. I just want the truth, Danny.
Danny was speechless for a moment. He stared blankly as his mind raced for some sort of excuse. He had no idea how Nate would react if he found out the truth, but he was honestly afraid to find out.
Nothing happened, Nate. She was having a hard time after what happened at our first visit to the Arab estate, and I was the only one who was awake to talk to. We went for a walk in the woods. She got cold, so I gave her my jacket. That's all that happened.
Yet Danny's hands trembled as he lied through his teeth. He was never a good liar. Of course, Nate saw right through it.
You know I can tell you're lying, Danny. Besides, if that was all that happened, she would have told me. She tells me a lot more than you think.
Nate said sternly as he locked eyes with Danny, who stiffened at his gaze.
Yet.
Danny.
Nate whispered darkly. As he locked eyes with Danny, his eyes flashed red as he activated his newly figured out ability. Danny's eyes widened as they turned red to match Nate's.
What happened between you and Nix that night?
Danny's breath hitched in his throat, and it suddenly felt like his mouth was moving on its own as the truth came pouring out.
I couldn't sleep, and I heard the front door shut. I looked out my bedroom window and saw Nix going into the woods alone, so I followed her. I followed her to a cliff where she was sitting for a while before I got a disturbing vision. I saw her step off the ledge to end her life.
Nate's eyes widened in horror as he listened, while Danny kept speaking as he stared back.
When I came out of the vision, I saw her about to do it, so I did the only thing that came to mind and dove after her. I held her tightly enough that she couldn't pry me off. Instead, she used her ability to lift us back up to the safety of the ledge. She told me she wanted her life to end because of her ability, and she was afraid your feelings for her had changed. I didn't tell you because she made me promise not to.
Danny finished his explanation before he just stared at Nate with a blank red eye glazed. Nate blinked a few times in quick succession as he released his ability. Danny took in a sharp breath as he stumbled slightly, having to use the bed as leverage to stay standing. Danny quickly looked at Nate with fear in his eyes.
Nate, I'm sorry. I know I should have told you, but
Danny was interrupted when Nate rushed forward and hugged him tightly.
Nate?
Danny asked softly, confused why Nate was hugging him right now after what he just said.
I don't care that you didn't tell me. I'm sorry I used my ability like that to drag it out of you. You were there when I wasn't. You saved her life. I can't even begin to thank you enough for that.
Nate's voice cracked as he spoke to Danny's shoulders. His hands trembled at the thought of this disturbingly small variable that was whether Danny had been awake that night. Nate released Danny, and the two stood there awkwardly for a moment. Danny inspected Nate's body language. He could tell he was shaken up, likely for being forced to fight off Nix and losing. The new information he had just received probably didn't help.
You don't have to thank me. I couldn't let her die like that while I could do something about it. I just didn't want to lose anyone else. And losing her that would kind of be a big one.
Danny whispered in a determined tone.
I know, I can't imagine my life without her.
Nate whispered as he looked at Nix. He leaned down and moved a strand of her hair off her face.
When my dad took control of her like that, turned her into a mindless puppet, it instilled a kind of fear in me that I never thought I'd feel. I froze up. I couldn't do what needed to be done to ensure everybody's safety. I couldn't hurt her.
Nate whispered as he continued to look at Nick's sleeping face. Her calm and peaceful presence made him feel a little better, but still guilty.
Nate, you do realize that's why Gabriel controlled her, right? He knew you wouldn't be able to hurt her, and it's possible he knew Nyx as easily the most powerful out of all of us.
And he responded quietly before realizing he accidentally entered rant mode.
Sorry, thinking out loud kind of just helps me cope out.
Danny whispered with a small chuckle. Dab at them haters.
I need a minute. Hang on. I couldn't, dude. I tried so hard.
Yeah.
The effort was worth.
It was just you said that so nonchalant, dude.
I would like to ask, what does cope out mean?
I don't know. I just added that. I was like, fuck, my fault. Well, it works.
No, it was just, I was
don't
not
know.
ready. Oh my god, I was so not ready. Okay, whew. Nathan, you're up, buddy.
You don't on me.
All right.
I'm scared.
It'll be fine. I promise. It's okay. You're right. That sadist found the one weakness I had that he could easily exploit.
Nate chuckled as well as he looked down at that weakness, still sleeping soundly in her bed. Danny smiled as he watched Nate smooth down Nyx's hair with his hand. These feelings about her that Danny had were definitely complicated, but that didn't mean they were bad. Danny wanted nothing but happiness for her, even if he couldn't be the one to give it to her. He took a deep breath. He can still be there for her when Nate couldn't be. Just like the night he saved her life, he could be an extra set of eyes to watch over her and keep her safe. And maybe that's enough. Even though it hurt sometimes, the pain was worth it.
I'm heading to bed now.
Danny whispered as he turned to leave the room. He stopped at the door and looked back at Nate.
You coming?
Nah.
Nate whispered in response as he glanced at Danny. He looked back at Nyx as he sat down in the chair he brought over.
I'm gonna stay here for a bit longer.
Danny smiled.
Okay, man.
He whispered sincerely before he left the room, leaving Nate with Nyx as he slept soundly. Nate folded his hands in front of him and stared at them. He didn't feel comfortable leaving her alone until she woke up. End scene.
End scene.
And scene.
End scene.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo,
Yeah.
both of you.
Also, rip Danny.
Yeah.
Do we, are we, is it starting to click on why Voltix hates this chapter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Nixie or Danix?
Nixie or Danix is wild.
Decide down
I
below
love
in the
both.
comments who's your favorite.
Yeah, it's needed
think
'cause
it's-
that shit's not fucking canon.
No, it's Nanny.
Nanny?
I will crash this ship and everyone on it.
It's
Also,
it's actually Dix.
If you're not on the
It's
ship,
actually
then you can't
dicks.
crash it.
I'll ram
not
right
dicks.
into you.
Damn.
Y'all,
You know,
we cannot get
I'll
into a
set
ship
the
war.
jump.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Save it for the fans, Lee.
Yeah, now.
You're right. You're right.
I should start one soon.
Scene change.
the next morning, Nick's eyes fluttered open, but it felt like she hasn't slept a wink. She stared at the ceiling for a while as she searched her memories. The most disturbing detail about the previous night was that Nyx remembered being mind controlled. It wasn't like she blacked out and suddenly woke up in her bed the next day. She was conscious about what she was doing, but she couldn't control her body. She could see through her own eyes, but everything was tinted red. It was like she was trapped in a cage that looked just like her. Nyx closed her eyes in despair, remembering the terrible look in Nate's eyes as she held him up by his shirt. Nyx took a deep breath before she opened her eyes and looked around her room. A bittersweet smile crept onto her face when she saw Nate sit next to her. He was asleep in the desk chair next to her bed, sitting lazily with his head down and his arms crossed. It seemed like he wasn't fully asleep, just stuck in that strange limbo between consciousness and drifting to sleep. Nyx moved her arm out from under the blanket and lightly placed her hand on his knee. This was enough to break him out of that sleepy limbo and lifted his head with sudden clarity.
Nyx, you're awake.
He whispered through an exhausted sigh of relief, and leaned forward and took her hand in his.
Are you okay? How do you feel?
Nyx smiled at him, taking a moment before she responded.
Sorry. I feel weird. I know I slept all night, but I'm still so exhausted.
I know.
Nate said in a kind tone, as he reached forward with his free hand and placed it on her cheek.
You can rest all day if you want, okay?
Nyx closed her eyes and leaned into his comforting touch, but overwhelming guilt started creeping its way into her mind.
Nate. I'm so sorry.
Her voice broke slightly as her eyes burned.
No, don't do that. You had no control over your actions, so you have no reason to apologize, Hermosa.
Nate kept his tone soft as he smiled at her, trying to show his sincerity. Nyx smiled softly at the nickname before it faded just as fast.
That doesn't make me any less remorseful. I hurt you. I hurt Soul. He used me like a weapon. I just...
Nyx was interrupted when Nate leaned forward and pressed his lips. Pressed his lips against hers. Nyx was.
I'm sorry,
You
that
guys
had
let
the
out.
same
Scandalous.
that had the same energy as
Her
Phoenix's
reaction
fucking
was
mid-sentence.
so
Wait, no.
real.
Yeah.
It was so. Nate leaned forward and presses. Oh my god!
Oh my
Got
god!
so excited.
Velosa.
Oh my
I
god.
just imagine you sitting there like, no, he didn't, kicking your feet.
Yeah.
Like clutching your pearls, just like, oh my god.
He did
I
the
did.
thing.
Sorry.
Very good.
Nyx was interrupted when Nate leaned forward and pressed his lips against hers.
Hell
Nyx
yeah.
was shocked at first, but she relaxed and her eyes closed, feeling every worry of the outside world fade away. Nate pulled away with his eyes still closed, severing the intoxicating feeling. He opened his piercing emerald eyes and looked at her.
I don't know what I was thinking before. And I don't want to waste another second without you being mine. And I'm sorry for pushing you away like that, but the truth is, my feelings for you have never changed. And what happened last night definitely didn't make me love you any less.
Nate sounded so genuine that it made Nyx smile brightly. She suddenly felt as so warm and complete. She closed her eyes as she sighed deeply, clearly still exhausted. Nate gently rubbed her cheek with his thumb before leaning down and kissing her forehead.
All right, you get some more sleep, Hermosa. You need it.
He said before he stood up to leave the room. He halted in place when he felt a tug on his shirt. He looked down to see Nyx holding his shirt in her hand.
Sorry, I could feel myself about to cough.
And then coughs.
Thanks for narrating that.
Alright. Sorry. Sorry.
I was not expecting to gargle.
Okay. Stay with me. please?
Nyx whispered with her eyes still closed. She released his shirt and scooted over in bed, making space for him to lie next to her.
Yeah, of course.
Nate smiled warmly as he got into bed next to her. His chest felt warm when Nyx scooted close to her, resting her head on his head.
That should say chest.
Yep. Nyx scooted closer to him and rested her head on his
Hang on.
it. I see what you mean.
Live editing?
I can't spell. There we go.
On his it? Oh
On
my.
his it. Oh my god, it's cochina! That's his
On his it.
No, Chet's never gonna let me live this down. No.
Oh my god,
my
she gave him a
God.
head.
No.
Damn.
Let's go. Let's go, dude.
She
The
needed a drain of
relationship
energy,
is
but she's about to
consummated.
drain Nate.
Oh my.
They're moving fast. They went from kissing to this.
Yo, please.
I mean,
Please.
when a superpowered woman and a superpowered man love each other very much.
I'm gonna freak out. You may proceed.
Wow.
Maybe.
Felix, please.
In one moment.
He's still dying.
Need to process this.
Man, can I skip this chapter? I can hold
No, we're
We
gonna sit there
are
and listen.
horny.
Fuck you, you
Bum,
sit through this.
ba-da-dum-bum-bum-bum. Thank you.
They're all
If we
fun.
have to sit. If we have to sit through the explanation of Danny and Nick's fucking, you're gonna have to sit through this.
Yeah, bitch.
No, but that was like better than this shit, bro.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
Shut up.
We cannot do
point,
this. We cannot get stuck in the ship war again, please. I'm not strong enough. I still have PTSD.
Fight.
You
fight,
created this
fight,
war.
Fight. Fight.
Jade, yes, Mask. Mask is saying my name. What's up? What's going on?
You,
What
did,
do-
you
what-
created this war.
What do you need? What do you need, buddy? Uh-oh.
What do you think, Big Shot?
Danny saved.
It's in my physical copy. I'm gonna kill myself. Kill me, pretty please.
Not allowed. Write the
A
book.
copy of it still exists.
Kill me, pretty please.
No, not allowed. Write the fourth book and the fifth.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I
You
mean-
may proceed when you're ready.
I just realized hearing you say it's in the physical copy. Damn. He could feel the tension leave her body as he pulled her closer, finally having her in his arms where she belonged.
Has anyone ever told you how comfortable you are?
Nate whispered before he realized she was already sleeping soundly in his arms.
Damn, if only I could fall
Nate
asleep
leaned
that
down
fast.
and kissed her head. Dude, right? Nate leaned down and kissed her head before he leaned his head back onto the pillow. It wasn't long before he fell asleep himself, feeling more at peace than he had in a long time. Both of them felt more at peace than they had since their final day as normal high school seniors. A rare, quiet feeling of happiness in the harrowing lives they now live in. A beacon of hope. A sanctuary.
Shut up, Voltix. I'll
Shut
kill
up.
you.
If we have to sit through fucking the beginning of book 2 and this bullshit, you have to sit through this. Fuck you.
And y'all complain just as much, if not more.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I will continue to do so.
Shut up, Vito. Shut up. Shut up, Vito.
Fight me.
That's
I
a better
will.
shipping name.
We can't
Dix
get into
or-
this. We can't.
But
Be
funny.
salty all you want. That shit's not canon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, and then Mask sends me another $150 of just straight money.
Oh, hell
Oh.
yeah.
Get
Wait,
spoiled.
Wait, money?
I thought you wanted gay money.
Straight.
I fucking love you.
I was like,
Straight
what else
money
have to
one
say,
day
Quetta?
before Pride Month? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Giving straight money before Pride Month? How could you?
How could
Thank you,
We're
Mask.
2.5 hours in. I say we take a quick intermission because I desperately have.
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
been in
piss.
2 hours already? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's already been 2.5 hours.
Bro.
No, it has not. It has been one and a
It's been
half.
an hour and
Has it won?
39.
Yeah, so
Eh,
one.
I'm about to say, it feels like it's been 10 minutes.
Well, like, okay, we've. Okay, the stream has been up for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been on call for
Okay,
2 hours.
we were in call beforehand.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I've been up for 2.5
Use the
hours.
restroom.
Go piss, girl.
Yeah, please. I
Go
just need
piss
5
girl.
seconds.
Go tinkle.
Phoenix can't tell time. Got it.
I tinkle.
Noted. Oh, everyone's muting.
Guys,
Yes.
They are a bird.
I'm gonna shit myself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna shit.
Oh, by the way,
Well,
chat.
that's a
Chat.
pretty large reaction. Do we want to
Sorry,
like
let me
explain, or we
rephrase
just
in
gonna
Korean.
float that shit in the air?
저는 진짜 좋네요.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I don't know if that made it better. I just don't understand it now. It feels like there's some pretext here.
Chat, this is Squeakers, a lovely individual who's also one of my voice actors, plays Kayla Thompson. She's not prevalent in the story yet, but that's okay. Apparently she's here for moral support and crying, screaming in Korean. Yeah.
That's the best moral support we could ask for.
Also, I put my true ship in the chat. I feel like it's the most romantic.
Your
true
ship.
all involved.
Also, fuck you,
Reese-
Vito, for finding me. I was supposed to be undercover.
You actually That's crazy. Bro, detective mode.
Oh, Mask, thank you for redeeming the
Whoa, hey, you put that away.
Listen,
You
it's
gotta,
been
you gotta hit him with it.
it's been a while since I've
Right in
streamed.
front of my salad.
It's been a while since I've streamed, and therefore has been a while since I've been forced to do any voice redeems. Fen, thank you for redeeming the
What did I just say?
I'm sorry.
One of
I
my
have to. Them's
Chipotle
the
burger
rules.
double? Put that
Alright,
in
the
my
rest-
pocket.
The rest of the group call has to do it as well.
No.
Are you sure you want that?
I don't think.
that.
I don't, wait, hang on. Hang on.
I can do the first one. I don't know
I
what
am
the
ready.
other one.
I mean, are you sure you want that? That's all I'm asking. Before I just lay
Oh,
this thing on the table,
no.
is this
The
what you
fuck is-
want?
Hey
Yes,
guys, I
man.
got this. I got this. I got this. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Pomeranian.
Unfortunately, Fen has done something for Vito.
Oh.
No,
Aw,
you can't be
there we
serious.
go.
You can't be serious.
Do it, coward.
Vito, sit, stay.
Vito.
Uh-huh.
No, collateral damage.
His tail is
Collateral.
wagging.
Fuck you.
We're not even done yet.
Vito, you've been such a good boy.
Fucking coward, get back here.
This game anymore.
Like fresh laundry.
The voice redeem? Oh, that's just where I talk really quiet and close to the mic for a undetermined amount of time.
Good lord.
But like,
no,
can we
we're
make it something funny just because you're talking close to the mic?
Hang on. I can do
Like, could you
this.
be like an auctioneer?
Ara.
Oh my god.
Iko
21, 21, 21.
You gotta, if you're gonna
Hey,
do it,
Rad,
though,
hey,
you
Rad.
gotta go southern with it.
Eco
I'd like,
partner.
I'd like to tell you a good era, and an eco day to you too.
Arigato
Alright.
gozaimasu.
Utashi ga anata.
I'll tell you what, them arigatos and hours really got to me.
Chad, are you okay?
Partner.
Watashi
It's like a
wa
fucking pasta,
bonita.
bro.
Fen, are you okay?
Korean people don't like Japanese people, and I still got offended from that. What the fuck?
Half of my enemy, I am offended, Danny.
That's how bad that shit was. Anyways, I'm back and I have spaghetti as well.
Oh, you missed
Spaghetti,
so
spaghetti.
much. You missed so
Do you have
much.
spaghetti with arigato pasta? Because that's
Spook, that was a frame perfect permission for the term
I will
pervs.
shove a rigatoni pasta up your ass. Please
Nice.
never do that again.
I mean,
I did
A lot
a
of
I
people
did
pay
a
for
ghost.
that experience, so I mean,
Direct
you know,
express
make some money on
pasta.
it.
Oh my god. I did a ghost RR, no one heard it.
Oh,
Oh.
I move in
did.
No, baby
silence.
girl, I heard you.
Thank you for
No,
the
I
nut
You heard?
chin.
Didn't
Mm-hmm.
even say thank you. Wow.
I was eating.
Requested you again. Well, see, if you didn't do it in the ghost way, you'd be more praised.
That is
Just
true.
Damn.
Mask, thank you for the resub for 2 months.
They're
You're
saying
so
quiet
sweet.
mouths don't get fed.
Dog, you keep this up, I'm gonna hit you
Crazy.
back.
I can't. It's the redeem. I got to. Them's the fucking rules.
He's gotta.
Wait, wait, you guys are not taking full advantage of this. You need to start asking random ass questions. Hey, can you read the back of a cereal box?
I can.
I know that Honey Nut Cheerios are good for heart health and cholesterol.
That is true.
What if I had
Banana
told
bread
you
at work today, dude.
banana bread at work today, dude?
Okay.
Can you read me Sir Isaac Newton's theory on movement?
Oh, Fen. Oh, Fen.
Why would you do this to me?
Can you read Shakespeare?
Oh my god.
I can read it, doesn't mean I understand it.
Yeah, I can
Do you
read.
give
I
the
can read
Hamlet
Romeo
for-
and
for
Juliet.
real,
Spoiler
Hamlet?
alert: they fucking die.
Oh,
What?
fuck.
Damn, I didn't know that, man.
Vito.
Years.
Vito.
Ball.
Fen seems to think that you're being a very bad boy. Why would that be?
I will turn off my suppression and slurp into this microphone. Don't test me.
Please do not grapefruit the microphone.
Phoenix, you
coconut. I
swallow.
will crack it open on
Oh my
camera. I
God.
swear to God.
You alright, Vito?
Yeah, alright.
You play D&D with me. You fucking know.
I have a seaweed salad. I'll slurp it up right now.
Ben, I'm gonna get you at some point during
Yeah.
this stream.
It's like, get ready for the clap back, bitch.
Jesus
You
Christ.
singled me out twice. It's happening.
Literally, so the thing with that redeem in specific is that each person in chat gets one. And there is like a universal like cooldown, so like people, like 15 people at once can't spam me with it all at once, and then I have an aneurysm. So each person in chat gets one, and Fen, I guess, decided to use both of theirs on specifically Vito.
Damn. I was about to say.
I'm just
Who am
gonna
who am I hitting today?
Who am I hitting today? Yeah, so I just want to make it clear. Everyone in chat has that bullet in the chamber.
Oh, is that? Oh, you're talking
So-
about bullets then.
Oh, I have it twice.
Relax.
Because I
Relax.
didn't
Nothing, relax, relax.
Relax.
How?
Chill.
Hey, that's my thing.
Anyway, moving
You give me
on.
back my gun.
Are we ready?
Yes, chapter 6. Are you
Yeah.
still gonna narrate? Are you just like locked in?
I'll do it.
I'm good.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
I mean, unless someone else wishes to and have fun.
I mean, I'm only probably
wanna
here
eat
for
my
like another. I'm probably only here for another hour, so.
If you want to do
Yeah.
it tomorrow, I'm gonna be here the whole time because I'm friends.
Oh, okay. You really throw
Come
together.
now.
your
Little,
half
little,
hour, don't you?
little humble brag there.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
drop that
confused.
shit right in the chat. Okay. Whatever.
I specifically made sure to have time for a special person's birthday.
Damn.
I made sure I didn't
Yeah,
have
well,
any plans for
some
today.
of us are on
like-
drugs, okay?
Fuck were you on my birthday, man? How cruel. Spookphobia's real in this fucking household. No, I'm kidding.
All right. I see how it is. I'm calling the IRS on you, anyways.
I fear I'm under
Sib
contract
is over here
for the
like, well, you know what?
performance
Jade
later.
is my friend too, but I'm on drugs, so fuck you.
Essentially.
All right.
I'm under contract for the performance I have to go to later, but I did call off work to be here, so.
Damn.
Oh,
What the fuck? Oh,
Well, that's valid.
my elbow just fucking popped. Bruh.
I ran through
Oh,
college.
You can pop
Darren.
something else?
Huh?
Ayo.
Sorry? Sorry.
So chapter
No, you're
16.
not.
So
You
You
can't
can't
panic.
fucking lie to me.
Not on stream, my bad.
That's fine. We just got
So about this book we're
right.
reading
So
here.
chapter 16, Streaky,
So about a
if you
beacon
want
of hope,
to,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
if you want to narrate, you may fire when ready.
I got you.
Fire.
Kills all of us.
Narrate.
Okay. I just like that one. It's funny. Anyways, chapter 16, A Beacon of Hope. Nate woke up but kept his eyes closed. A faint smile spread across his lips as he felt the warmth of Nick's resting on his chest. He slowly opened his eyes and tilted his head down to look at her, but he could only see her raven black hair. Nate brought up his hands and smoothed down her hair, which had become frizzled from her sleeping. Turn off your cell phones. Nick stirred
hear you.
slightly. Nick, Nick stirred slightly and Nate stopped his hand, not wanting to wake her up. She reached over and wrapped her arm around Nate's waist and squeezed him. Nate grinned warmly as an overwhelming love filled his body. His attention was brought to her face when she was suddenly looked up at him. His eyes softened on her sleepy face.
Well, good morning, hermosa.
Nate whispered in his sleepy voice that always made Nick's face feel warm. Nick lifted her head and looked around with shifty eyes.
I didn't sleep for a whole day, did I?
Nate chuckled softly in response.
No, it's about 3 p.m., I think. I only said good morning because you look so cute when you're confused.
Nate smirked at her before she scoffed and shoved herself off of him as he laughed. Nick sat up fully in bed and rubbed one of her eyes to help recover from sleep.
Do you think the others are awake yet?
Nick asked quietly as she rubbed her eye and ran that down through her hair.
Yeah, I imagine so. It's pretty late in the day.
Nate replied as he sat up and rubbed his eyes with his palm.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go get some coffee started. I want some.
Nick said as she climbed out of the bed and stretched her arms above her head. Nate stayed in bed and watched her, a small smile spreading across his face.
What?
Nick asked after she caught him staring. Nate's smile grew wider.
Nothing. Just admiring the view.
Sheesh.
Nate whispered in his sleepy voice, still foggy from just waking up. Nix averted her eyes, feeling the flush of her cheeks before she quickly scooted out of the room to go downstairs. The moment she entered the hallway, she could smell something wonderful cooking. She inhaled deeply and was instantly brought back to when she was little, and her mom would make eggs with bacon, and the smell would wake her up. Then a bittersweet feeling invaded her body. When Nix approached the kitchen, she could hear the subtle sounds of someone cooking. She turned the corner into the kitchen and was visibly surprised by who she saw.
Danny?
She called out in surprise. He was standing at the stove, folding an omelet with a spatula. He turned towards Nix when she called his name and gave her a small smile.
Morning. Even though it's the afternoon, you're the first one to wake up other than me. I guess everyone else is still pretty exhausted.
Danny said as he turned his attention back to his cooking.
Have a seat. This one's almost done.
Nick smiled before she sat down at the table. It secretly warmed her heart that Danny seemed to have bounced back so quickly. After everything he'd gone through in the past few months, Nick was surprised he could smile at all.
Surprised you could smell. Me too.
Yeah. Focused those 5 different places.
Nate's awake too. At least he was when I woke up, but I wouldn't be surprised if he fell back asleep.
Nick chuckled softly as Danny placed an omelet in front of her. She leaned down and inhaled deeply before another smile spread across her face. She cut off a piece with the side of the fork before jabbing it and bringing it to her mouth. Her eyes widened a bit at the incredible flavor.
I didn't know you could cook.
Nick said in an intrigued tone.
Oh, yeah.
Danny responded with a small smile as he sat down across from her and took a bite of his own omelet.
My parents taught me when I was young. They had to work a lot, so they made sure I could take care of myself. I kind of had a habit of scaring away babysitters, so they stopped trying.
Danny said passively as he put another bite into his mouth. Nix exhaled sharply through her nose.
How the hell did you scare away your babysitters?
Nix asked as another small chuckle.
Maybe scaring away isn't the right term. I was just a real asshole as a kid. I'd always correct them on every little thing they did wrong or said wrong. I hardly showed any remorse about it either, so they would always quit.
Danny chuckled as he ate another bite.
Well,
Nix said as she looked down at her food.
at least some things haven't changed.
Nix joked before looked back at him with a small smile. Danny snorted quietly before he picked up a small piece of egg and threw it at her. Nix quickly lifted her finger and stopped the egg in midair with her ability. Her smirk grew wider before she released the egg and it dropped onto her plate. Danny snorted again.
Fuck you,
he said in a soft, joking tone. At that moment, Nate walked into the kitchen while ruffling his black hair.
Hola, hermosa.
Nate said sleepily as he leaned down and lifted her chin so he could kiss her.
Oh, they're omelets? I want one. Are there more eggs?
Yeah, I can make you one if you want.
Danny offered as he got up.
Nah, I can make it. You're already eating.
Nate said, running his hands through Nick's hair as he walked to the stove to start his omelet.
So, everyone else isn't awake yet, huh?
He asked them both as Danny sat down in his seat.
Sorry. Guess not. It's been a long week for everyone.
Nick said in a soft tone.
That's unfortunate because I wanted everyone to be here for this, but I guess I can tell you guys now and the rest later.
Nate said to himself as he cracked a few eggs. Danny and Nick exchanged a look before giving Nate their full attention.
Let's be honest, this place isn't safe anymore. Koro has made that clear already. And now that my dad is in the equation as well, that makes things even more dangerous.
Nate explained as he stood next to the stove with his arms crossed, idly, waiting for the eggs to cook.
I mean, he already took control of Nyx once, and he would absolutely do it again. He knows she's our trump card.
Wait, I am?
Nick sounded surprised.
Of course you are.
Danny said as he entered rant mode.
Nix, you have the control over gravity in pockets of space. You can literally stop a bullet dead in its tracks, then throw it back at the same speed. If anything is affected by gravity, you can control it. Thankfully, Nate had released you once, and he can do it again.
Danny put another bite of omelet in his mouth.
Just think about how many times we'd all be dead, if not for you.
He's got a huge point, as always.
Nate responded.
I'm sure my dad knows that as well, and he will take precautions against it. But that's not the point. The point is, this place isn't safe anymore. We need a new place to live, and I have a horrible idea.
Nate trailed off as he looked into space and rubbed his chin.
Scene change.
Scene change. Anyways.
Scene change.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Also,
everyone agreed being thrown by Nick's. Cool. Yeah.
But
cool.
before we move on, really quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fen, baby, you're being such a good pet for me.
God damn.
Holy, you have to warn a bitch.
So loud.
Where's the fun in that?
Fuck that. Do it again. Do it again.
No.
You
There,
have
that'll
to
be funny.
warn a bitch, bro. I'm
You have
fragile.
both the ability, the
I'm
power,
out.
and somebody holding a knife. Do
No
it again.
way, dude.
Squeakers, put the knife down.
I open
Put it
side
down.
No,
chat
keep
and
the
I
knife.
see can Nyx throw me. I'll say please.
My response is, and I quote, real and true.
Yeah.
Mine was real drool.
Oh well,
Oh, well,
Vito. That was
I'll be throwing this.
Vito. That wasn't very nice of you. You've been an awfully bad boy.
What the fuck?
Bruh.
What do you mean?
I will do it. I will do it.
Squeakers, put
No!
the knife down. No, they put the knife
Squeakers,
down.
no!
I
Put the
will
knife-
do it.
No.
At least not
Squeakers.
towards yourself.
Right, like at least cut away. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
can't.
Safety, safety.
Go from
Go
the
from
other
under.
side up.
Your dick.
Yeah, the underside
You
up. That's
can't.
right.
Your dick is
Yeah.
too massive.
Chat.
Please.
Please. You need all 12 inches.
Oh,
Well,
Welcome
Where
to
am
a
I
genuine
right
Jade
now?
Mouse stream, Squeakers. Welcome aboard.
Hi, how you doing?
hi, I'm gay here.
Yeah, we
nice to
all
meet you,
are.
gay here.
Just here.
Good boy.
I don't like
for
this
me.
game anymore.
Oh my.
Oh
Lumbow.
my god. Wait. Who has the mommy voice?
Phoenix.
Who just mommy voiced in my ear?
Phoenix.
Hmm?
Who
Oh.
the shit just mommy voiced in my ear? It was not Jade. Jade I can recognize from a mile away.
Mask. Mask seems to believe that you are being quite the good little pet.
I will hang
Retweet.
up.
You promise?
The phoenix burst into fire.
I can't even express how red my face is.
Oh,
Like I
God.
don't have to look in a
Mean.
mirror to understand. Like I can feel it.
I love that for you.
They definitely feel it.
Look in the mirror. Look, it's pretty people. It's you guys.
You pointed at yourself.
Actually,
oh,
funny
wait,
enough,
no, that was not the intention. No.
actually,
Too late,
funny
you're
enough, the
damn
camera
real.
was faced at you, so like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Jokes on you. Good counter, bitch.
You are pretty people.
You
No,
are
you-
pretty
No.
people.
Good lord, I'm just over here trying to voice act, and my chat is like, horny.
Yeah.
God.
Welcome to a Jade Mouse.
Yeah, literally.
No.
Joel, your VTuber avatar has bigger tits than my will to live. What were you expecting?
She also has huge tits in real life.
That's Nyx!
Yeah, absolutely fucking
My
massive, dude.
PNG currently is Nyx!
Okay, but both
I'm not talking
do, and
about
you know it.
Nyx. I'm
Oh,
talking
you're
about...
you're talking about actual streaming.
I'm sitting
yeah, okay.
here torn between just
No.
taking it all in or joining in.
Oh,
Do it.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
Name of your
Wait, you
sex
can
tape.
take it all in?
name
Or
of
I
your
just heard you
sex
take
tape!
it four.
Girl.
Yeah, that shit's
Take
like
it
a deep
good
dish. Don't worry.
girl.
Oh my god, alright, long pussy, holy shit.
Deep dish
That's-
pussy.
I am dilated and ready
That's
to go.
the absolute worst tribal
Oh
name of all time.
my.
I am fairly confused now.
Just
Oh,
kidding, my
good
body's a
heavens.
temple.
Anyway, scene
Preach.
change. Are we good to continue?
Oh, honey,
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, two different questions. Are we good to continue? Yes. Are we good in general? Never.
No.
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 We're vitalized voice actors. We're never okay. Anyways.
Like mentally? No.
No.
Nah, there's something wrong with me psychologically.
But spiritually,
There's
also
something
no.
wrong
Also no.
She
Yeah.
dropped some bars.
Loki is
I would
mad at
rather
me.
be liked and fit in, but there's something wrong with me psychologically.
Oh, did it again?
Hang on,
I mean,
I
what?
saw that.
I mean, what? I mean, what?
Hey, Chris,
So,
put the knife down.
scene change, right?
Scene change.
Hey,
Scene
whoa.
change.
Scene change.
Yeah, scene
Yeah.
change. For
Scene
sure.
change.
Scene change.
There
Anyways.
was
change.
frosting on it from from eating a cookie earlier. Okay.
That would be the excuse. Yes,
Mhm,
of course.
mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. Mhm.
Streaky,
Yes.
narrator
Yes.
supreme. You may
Definitely.
proceed.
Okay. Anyways, after everyone had made their way downstairs and eaten their breakfast, Nate gathered all his friends in the living room to discuss his horrible plan.
Okay, so as I'm sure everyone here has figured out already, this place isn't safe anymore. So until we find somewhere a bit more permanent, I think we should go to my mom's house.
God damn.
Nate said as he stood in front of the group, who were sitting on the couch or on the ground in front of it.
Nate, I really don't want to bring her back into this. It's asking for trouble.
Nick's protested as she sat with protest. I can read. Nyx protested as she sat with her legs crossed on the ground.
Trust me, I know, but it's the only option we have right now. Unless one of you guys want to talk to your parents. Not Soul.
Nate said as she pointed to Soul. She smiled warmly at him as she flipped him off.
Oh, that was
Reese.
good. Reese, are you alive?
Shit, we're further down than I thought. There's gotta be another way than potentially fucking over ungifted.
Reese chimed in as he sat in. Oh, Reese chimed in as he sat on the armrest of the couch.
I can't think of any.
Danny said quietly, causing the group to look at him.
The only other option I can think of is waiting around being homeless until we either starve, or killed by Kroy, or taken by Zachariah again. I don't really like any of those scenarios.
Danny finished with his arms crossed as he sat on the couch.
Narissa.
Me neither. I'm sorry, I was reading side chat.
You bad girly. Pay attention.
Me either.
Pay attention, darling. Anyways.
No.
Narissa whispered as she clutched Danny's upper arm. Ever since the previous night, Narissa has been sticking to Danny's side like glue. He didn't particularly mind, as it made him feel needed, so the arrangement was positive for both of them. The group was silent for a few minutes, weighing the pros and cons.
Oh shit. I can be Soul. It's fine.
I can be Soul.
You got Soul.
I can be Soul.
No, we're not doing that.
We're Lemonade Mouth.
We are Soul.
Anyway.
We are Soul.
Soul is a collective.
I don't really see any other way.
Soul broke the silence with her tone slightly agitated.
I guess that's it then.
Nate responded after a few more seconds of silence.
I'll usually get some stuff packed up. Fair warning, my mom can be kind of a lot. Also, not a word to her about seeing my dad. She doesn't need that.
Nate said in a slightly embarrassed tone before the group got up and went to their room to pack their bags. After Reese had packed a good amount of clothes into a duffel bag he'd found in a closet, he walked down the hallway before stopping at Soul's room. She was inside, next to her bed, with her back to him. Anyone else would have reached upon hearing someone enter the room, but Soul didn't. She was just standing there, lost in her thoughts. Reese approached cautiously, not wanting to startle her, but he needed to get her butt moving.
So?
Reese said as he placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Suddenly, Reese tensed and strained his posture as a sharp tendril of shadow appeared under his chin. His duffel bag slipped off his shoulder and hit the ground with a dull thud as he stood in shock. Soul turned around swiftly. The look of shock flashed on her face before it faded just as fast.
Sorry.
Soul uttered softly as the tendril lowered and faded back into Soul's shadow.
It's all right.
Reese said as he lowered his chin and relaxed his posture. He used his thumb to swipe away the small amount of blood that spooled in a pinprick wound.
Why so jumpy?
Soul took a while to respond.
I can't help but feel guilty.
Yeah, that seems to be the theme going around lately.
Reese responded casually as he lowered his hand.
You can't help it if Nyx whooped you. Nate can't either. The situation just made things more complicated.
No, Reese, you don't understand.
Soul spat out in annoyance.
Then help me understand.
Reese lowered his voice, trying to sound more genuine. Soul took a deep breath that shook when she released it.
The reason that any of this happened is because of me. You are all close to me, and that fact alone has made you all targets. Danny alone was almost killed time and time again because he got too close to me. Jack was killed because he got too close to me. Narissa was captured and used as some pathetic pawn because she's too close to me.
Soul clenched her fists at her sides, and Ree's brow furrowed.
So, does that mean you're considering going back to the Mafia?
Reese said coldly. Soul suddenly whipped her head to look at him in shock. Reese's face then changed from the look of cold seriousness. The two stared at each other for a moment before they heard Nate calling up to them, telling them to hurry up. Reese closed his eyes and turned to leave, picking up his duffel bag again before stopping.
So, I don't care about the actions of some superpowered mafia any more than I care about that bitch who turned me in. However, that mafia hurt my friends. That mafia killed Jack. That mafia tortured Danny to the point that I'm not sure I recognize him anymore. That being said,
Reese turned his head to look at Soul, and her body tensed at the fiery look in his eyes.
if you go back to them, you will become my enemy. You got me?
Reese growled with a tone that could cut glass. He didn't wait for her to respond before he walked out of the room, leaving Soul alone.
Wow.
Jesus.
Take a moment to process.
Reese's VA, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. Also, I see you,
Squeaker's just
Vito,
gonna
in
be
chat.
driving.
Yeah, Squeaker's gonna be
You're
driving,
you're
bro.
gonna make them crash.
Well, I was gonna do it when they were still here, but the redeem was on cooldown.
And you still activate it when they auto cleave.
Oh
Yeah,
my
self-care nut.
lord. The self-care nut package. Oop, double
Nut.
nut. Thank you.
Thanks.
Nut,
I feel
nut.
great now.
Gotta take a quick BRB, but I don't think Reese has to speak for just a little something.
That's a-okay, actually, because I got a piss.
Perfect.
Go
All
piss,
right,
girl.
see you back.
Go piss, girl.
Go
Give me a
piss,
break.
girl.
Ignith, girl.
People can take piss breaks if they need to. Everyone else, entertain my chat, lol.
Okay.
I already did.
Easy.
Haha.
Which one?
My...
Entertain chat or go to pee?
Bienvenidos al Sábado Gigante. Yo soy Don
Bienvenidos.
Francisco. Welcome back to tonight's show.
Regresamos a
Fuera.
Telemundo.
Fuera.
Fuera, fuera.
Fuera.
No hablo español.
You make me un
Espanol.
poco loco.
Un poco. You make me
Yeah.
un poco loco.
You
Wow.
make me un poco
Benito
loco.
You may
Wow.
me
Way
guess
to me
Yes,
starting
you
in
got
a
me,
blessing. I
yes,
counted as a
you
blessing.
So we went from offending
And
the
I'm
English to now
only
offending
un
the
poco
Spanish.
loco.
Well, I mean, can you really blame? I mean,
Yay.
Coco slaps. I don't give a fuck.
It does.
Go
about
It
fucking
does
it.
clap.
slaps.
Aw, it's a
My
good
It has
favorite
good
movie.
song
vocals.
is the fuck. It goes. What is it? What's it called?
Go on.
Is it the
Llorona?
The Yonora song.
Llorona, yeah.
Ay de mi
Llorona.
llorona.
Llorona
De
de
azul
azul
celeste.
celeste. Ay
Y
de
aunque la
mi
vida me
llorona.
cueste llorona.
Llorona.
I would say
No
stop the
dejaré
kid
de querer.
quererte.
Bro, that song,
No
bro,
dejaré de
absolutely queen
quererte.
energy, bro. Can't tell me
Right.
otherwise. Yeah.
Because Jade's not here and they're only gonna notice this later. Do you want to duet that song with me?
What, Llorona? For real?
Yes.
I'll have to pull up the lyrics because it's been fucking millennia since we
Girl,
watched.
I
Coco,
know
but-
them
We
lyrics.
don't have to do it right now. I'm saying like we can make like an actual video with like the background music and shit, dude. Like we're
Oh my
gonna
gosh.
Bet.
Can I be the
bet.
girl?
Say less.
we're
Yes.
already duetting it.
Yeah. I call being the guy that plays the guitar. I forgot his name. The one that's being forgotten.
Oh, you could be the conductor. Someone could take over the conductor.
Oh. Fuck.
Someone says, "What's Reese's favorite color?" Jade can say shit since she's not here.
Reese also isn't here.
Full.
He just left.
Son of a bitch. All right, we'll
So
say
then
fine.
that means we can decide what Reese's favorite color
Yeah.
is. It's red. It's the dark red of blood.
Yo, Crimson, let's fucking go. My favorite.
Let's go.
yeah,
That's
baby.
funny for several reasons. My bad, Spook.
I feel like he'd
exactly. We're good.
I
We're
feel like
good.
he'd like purple.
Wow, I came back at a weird time, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I heard.
Purple, nurple.
What?
No.
What?
Pardon?
Yes, Queen.
I'll nurple your purple, dude.
Hello?
Yeah.
Please, no.
That sounds uncomfortable.
Until I'm purpled?
What?
And now I'm purple, and now I'm Nyx.
Yay.
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 Is Sigma still dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at myself
Is
in
that
the
a
mirror,
cat?
by the way. My makeup is almost completely gone, and I'm not sure why. Meow?
Is that a cat I hear?
Meow.
I'm gonna grab that cat.
Meow. Meow.
Cat is mine now. I'm kidnapping it.
Meow. Oh, fuck, wait!
Oh, shit.
What?
Oh, shit.
I shid.
I shid.
I dish. Deep
I
dish
dish.
pizza.
Colonel, I shitted.
Garbage. Clean my underwear.
But I shid.
But I shid.
But
Colonel.
I shid. Colonel.
We're voice actors. How you doing?
Voice actors are equally.
around, but I should.
Now I can perform.
Y'all, we are voice actors. Voice actors are equally dangerous and the stupidest people on the planet Earth.
Excuse me, what's
Where's
the direction
voice
to nerd sound? Yeah, it's back to where you came. I love that little bit from Family Guy. It's so
Yeah.
funny. So out of context, so as well. It's so great.
Look, you want to catch a fade right now? I'll catch a fade with you, motherfucker.
I think.
Emma's gonna fuck you up.
I think that.
Crash out Kermie.
I think that literally one of my favorite bits ever in Family Guy has to be when Peter and Lois were gonna go on like vacation, and Meg is like, doing Meg things, and she's like, I can't believe my stupid parents are gonna spend 2 stupid weeks following stupid old Kiss around. It's painful. And Peter just goes, not as painful as a tire iron upside your head. She's like, and she's like, what? And he just goes,
Meg,
love you.
Meg, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Fan.
Oh.
Don't you run from me, Fen.
Fun, fun, fun.
Fun, fun, fun. Don't you run from me, Fen.
Oh my gosh. Wait, is that Fenris?
Different Fen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, good.
Why are you running?
Well, because I was gonna make a fun
Fen
of
in the
other
chat, like,
duels.
I'm sat.
Fen, you've been an awfully bad pet, but I'm afraid I can't let you run.
Ooh, choke him with the collar.
Oh, clutching them pearls.
And they died.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Actual cannibal Shia
Clutch your pearls.
What?
Yo, what?
Vito.
Said you can't run.
Oh my god, he's dead.
We fucking killed him.
Oh my god.
Nani?
Keisha.
He's soft-locked.
Keisha. Oh my
He's
fucking gosh,
soft-locked!
Oh my god.
Oh no.
He's out.
Out like a light. What a gamer.
Wait, DMCA.
Rest
I'll
in
rescind.
Hello?
DMCA.
Hey,
I just needed you to know.
Ah,
I love you.
it's a squeaker.
Welcome back, Squeakers.
Squeakers is back.
Yo,
Are you alright over there?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
He's dead.
Oh,
Glamorous
wait.
death.
reference that shit in years,
Vito.
bro.
Vito,
Oh,
you have to
can-
tell someone something.
Squeakers! It's so funny that you're back, because Vito redeemed something.
For
Lives in the
you.
corner of my brain.
I saw the little head tilt!
The side glare was chef's kiss.
I hope you're very focused right now in driving.
You're doing so well at driving.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, I bet you follow every traffic law.
I saw your face walk in when they said keep your
You're-
eyes on driving.
You're so good at driving.
Bro,
You've been such
you
a
know
good
what?
girl.
Not that by panic.
I bet you never even got a ticket.
Oh, hello? Nani?
It's okay,
Oh,
Squeakers. Just breathe.
Bro sat upright. Holy shit. I guess.
I bet you
Keep
turn
it
on your
on the road,
signal
darling.
every time, don't you?
I bet you've never had your insurance
It's not the only thing
premiums
that gets turned
increased.
on.
I will crash this car. I just almost.
No, your
Okay,
insurance
okay,
premium.
I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
That's enough.
Yeah, focus on driving.
The
Love
double
you.
premium.
And love
I'll
you.
Love you. Te
Love you.
quiero.
Bye.
I'll give you pancakes if you don't crash.
I'm double checking. I don't.
Yeah, there we go. She's locked in.
Why are
In
we
the
talking
sheet
about
for speed
cars?
mode.
Because Squeakers is currently in the VC and is also driving. Hence why
Yeah.
we were like,
Yeah.
all right, let's not make her crash, my lord. Also,
Yeah.
thank you, Demise, for thank you. Hi, Demise. Thank you for the bricks.
Thank you.
Jade and I teamed up
Nice,
as
baby.
unstoppable.
Can I be
Unstoppable
mom?
forces.
It is.
Yeah.
The fuck you mean you beat a ball?
I'd
We'll
be
see.
beating him off.
Speaking of
Yo.
voting now, good luck, everybody else.
Anyway,
It's me, I'm them.
should we
I
proceed?
turn now.
We
Oh
shall
God.
proceed.
Yeah,
I
we're
probably
reading.
have.
Yeah,
Or
we
I have,
were
like,
like doing a
half
reading.
an hour left. Yeah.
Scene change.
Soon change. Anyways,
I want to play as Nate's mom.
please do it.
Bet,
That'll be
do it.
great.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
All right, sure.
Yeah. I need to go like full like. Oh yeah, me. Well, like
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Nicole. Yeah, I got you.
There you go. Oh, loved it. Okay, here we go.
I did the
Felix,
I'll say,
bring out your
yeah.
inner Mama Loakoa.
My mama. Okay, hold on.
Nobody else knows what that
Wait,
means.
wait. But like, she's a little southern.
Never mind.
Bring Mama Loco, but less southern. I got you.
Just slay. Just slay.
The energy,
like-
the energy of Mama Loakoa.
the energy.
Yeah. Just
Streaky, you
give
may
me the
fire when
energy
ready.
that you just give the energy that you shop at Zara and you put adobo on everything. Give me that energy. Anyways.
Adobo.
Yeah. Anyways. Nate turned off the engine of his mother's van after he pulled into an underground parking garage. He wanted to call his mother to give her a warning that they were coming in case she had company.
Okay, I'll be right back. Stay here and stay quiet.
Nate whispered to everyone before he pulled up his hood and left the van. He walked at a casual pace towards the payphone to avoid drawing any unnecessary attention to himself. Once he reached the phone, he slid a quarter into the slot and typed his mother's phone number. After a short moment of ringing tone, he heard his mom's tired voice.
Hello?
She said quietly, her voice sending a strange feeling through Nate. Warm, but also disturbing. Icy emptiness.
Mama?
He responded quietly, his voice slightly quivering. He didn't want to do this, but he really had little choice. He heard his mother inhale a shaky breath.
Nathan, is that you? Ay, Dios mío. Where have you been?
Mary suddenly sounded to be in perfect clarity. Nate smiled at her tone and genuinely relieved.
Hi, I'm sorry I couldn't call sooner, Mama. We saved our friend from the Erebus. I don't know if you know who they are, but
Nate choked up slightly.
we had to lie low for a while to stay safe. But now we need a place to stay. And I hate to ask, but
No, please, come home, mijo.
Nate's eyes widened slightly after his mom interrupted him. His eyes then stared watering in bittersweet joy.
Okay, Mama. Be there soon.
Nate responded after he gathered himself. He hung up the phone and stood there for a moment before he returned to the van.
Well,
Nix asked as Nate closed the door and settled into the driver's seat.
Well, she's given us the green light. We're good to go.
Nate said evenly as he turned on the van, shifted gears, and drove off towards home.
home.
Say change.
I forgot about this part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Let me parch myself with water for this one.
No, I meant. No, you don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, in, like
Choke,
within
choke.
this first page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we all ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nate's mother was already waiting on her porch when the van pulled up, the headlights cutting through the darkness of early evening. She stood up from her rocking chair with a concerned look on her face. Nate exited the driver's seat of the van and walked into his mother's loving embrace. She used her hand to pet the back of his head, with a sigh of relief as the rest of the group started getting out of the van.
I don't even want to ask you what happened. I'm just happy you're alive, mijo.
She said quietly before she released him.
Come, inside, all of you.
Inside the house, Mary sat down in a comfy cloth chair in the living room. The rest of the group filled into the room and sat down in various locations. Danny sat down with Narissa on the couch, and Reese sat on the armrest of that couch. Sol and Nick sat on the ground while Nate stayed standing.
Bueno, you must be Danny.
Mary said warmly as she looked at Danny, who tensed for being called out like this.
Aren't you handsome?
She added. Danny's cheeks flushed slightly as he continued to look at her, his gaze shifting to slight embarrassment.
Your friends really wanted to save you, and I can see why. You seem like a nice boy. I'm sorry those horrible people did that to you.
Danny tensed again. Images of his time in the Erebus estate flashed in his eyes again in a light speed. He snapped out of it when he felt Narissa clutch his arms again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Danny said politely, through a shaking voice.
No need to thank me, dear. You're all safe now. Mijo, don't you think it's time I get a proper introduction to your new friend?
Mary said as she turned to Nate.
Right. Well, that's Danny. He can find out the code to any type of electronic clock, and he can see a few seconds into the future to avoid death.
Nate pointed to Danny, who lifted his free arm and waved at her with a gentle smile. Nate turned his hand slightly and gestured to the girls, still clenching Danny's arm.
That's his sister Narissa. She can manipulate water, change the temperature of water, and can even detect internal injuries and heal them with that same technique.
Narissa blushed slightly after Nate had shown her ability in such a positive light. Nate pointed at Reese next, and as he was next in line.
That's Reese. As you can see, his eyes look abnormal, and that's because he's basically a cat man. He can grow claws and sharpen fangs, and he's also insanely fast and agile as well.
Reese chuckled slightly during Nate's explanation before he nodded at Mary.
That's Soul. She can manipulate shadows from either her own shadow or others. And she comes from the same family that abducted Denny, but I can promise you she's nothing like them.
Sol shot Nate a glare for outing her personal business like that.
Oh, honey.
Sol's attention was taken when Murray spoke.
It takes a lot of courage to turn against your own family like that, even if they are terrible people. You should admire that of yourself.
Sol was taken aback by Mary's words. Before she looked down and didn't speak further, Mary smiled softly at her before confusion spread across her face and looked around.
Where's that other boy? The one with the long black. Oh.
I wonder what happened.
About that.
Wait, no.
It was just Felix with the oh god.
Oh my! I wonder what happened.
Jack, come back, Jack.
Not
donut,
chat
yeah,
having
nah.
a meltdown.
You did not just call it a donut.
Shit.
Bruh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Closure.
Whew, anyway.
Okay. Anyways, the group stiffened and stayed silent.
He
Nick spoke up before having to clear her throat.
he didn't make it, Mary.
Mary suddenly looked mortified.
I'm so sorry, children. This world.
Mary whispered as she drew a small cross across the front of her body. The group was silent for a while before Nate spoke up.
I think we should all get some rest. It's been a long day.
He said in a quiet voice.
Oh wait, is Sigma back?
You're right.
Oh. Well, shit.
Dramatic pause.
Anyways, Reese sat through a long yawn as he stretched his arms above his body. Mary nodded solemnly before she got up and showed everyone where they could sleep. She was low on space, so few people had to share a room. This place was safe though, so they didn't mind too much. After everyone had fallen asleep, Mary was in the kitchen using the landline that hung on the wall. She stood there with the phone held to her ear. A female voice answered on the other end.
Oh boy. Okay. Yes.
The voice said. It sounded mature and firm.
Hello, gentlemen. You asked me to alert you when they arrived.
Mary sounded slightly apprehensive. The voice was quiet for a moment before it responded.
Understood. I'll be there in the morning. Keep them safe until then.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
No.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
I shit. Oh shit. I shit.
I shitted.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I
Mary,
cannot
Mary,
describe how
slow
nervous
down.
I was as we got closer and closer.
You don't even worry, you slayed.
Girl, you're gonna do fine.
You're gonna do great.
Not that you're hot.
Exactly. Just
Get-
wanted to
I like you. Have a cupcake.
I like you.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
You're my
Danielle,
friend
don't worry
now.
about
We're
it.
having
Danielle,
some tacos later.
Danielle, don't worry
I-
about it. It's fine. It'll be so fine, bro.
It'll be okay.
I
You
wanna
promise.
point out a side note. You will not believe how long of a voicemail I left Jade when I read that chapter.
Yeah.
Specifically that part.
Literally,
Gee,
didn't
I
even-
was fucking screaming.
Didn't even like
Also-
go to the next chapter. It was just immediate my DMs and was like, we need to
Yeah,
have a
just-
fucking discussion.
I was
Also, can
literally
we just talk
screaming.
about?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how every time Nate comes home, he's just like, "Hi, Mom, I brought fugitives."
Oh, okay.
Just get adopted immediately.
And my mother doesn't even bat a bro. She's the fucking goat, bro. The
Absolute
fucking
goat right there.
She's
We
just
stand Mama Olivera in this household.
she's just happy he has friends.
Oh.
He's just happy that they're not being controlled by the mind.
She's
And
also
they just-
she's
God,
also
Nate has friends.
she's also happy that her son isn't dead.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
considering
too or whatever.
He's not
Yeah.
dead, and he has friends.
And he has friends.
Ay, mi hijo's popular now, finally.
Like, oh my god,
I
it's so
just
nice of you to
know.
finally bring some friends home, and they're all like fucked up and bleeding because they were just fighting someone.
Yeah.
Want some
Every single
pupusas?
goddamn time.
What's
I
up?
just have to like to finish
So,
it.
Mama Olivera being a potential mother-in-law, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Nudge,
Oh
nudge,
my.
nudge, nudge.
¿Cuándo vas a traer hijos, mijo?
Yep.
When it kids, when it's kids.
Incredible.
When it's
What?
kids.
Oh my
Wala
No,
mo,
Nick.
wala.
now.
Okay.
Oh
Oh.
my God, Nick! I need to tell you how to make tamales, okay? Vámonos.
Yeah, ma. Let's go.
Tuwad yung gringa pa pasa cambiar. Okay, vamos aquí.
Nyx is over here like, help me. Nate's like, I can't.
Yeah. Nate just smiles and gives her a thumbs up. You got this, babe.
You got it.
By the
You
way,
can wear my wedding dress.
You got it,
and
babe.
everything.
Like, just.
you're on your own.
Oh my
Your
lord.
objective
Anyway,
survived.
All right.
All right.
Streaky, would you like a break or are you good to keep going?
I'm so good. Unless it's
So
someone else
good,
wants
dude.
my rate.
So good, dude.
You're
Oh,
so
also,
good, dude.
also, hang on, hang on.
Okay.
We are going to need 2 more voices for this chapter. We will need a voice
Oh,
for
we don't.
we will need a voice for Gregory,
I got you.
Gregory.
and we will need a
Gregory.
voice for Oliver.
Gregory, what the fuck are you doing? How
I
did
got
you get
Gregory.
up there?
How did you get up there?
Are you available?
What'd you say,
I can
Felix?
use Oliver.
Oh,
I said,
Tom.
Kyle,
I
you're
am
available.
unfortunately knee deep in web design homework right now.
You're
but
fine.
Listen, you're fine.
You're doing
Wait,
school.
what's
You're here for
Oliver's
moral
worst fight?
support. It's cool.
You're good,
Tonks,
brother.
you got Oliver. I believe in you.
Yeah. Tonks, I really need you to castrate my husband, okay?
Oh my.
Which
That-
one?
That means 2
Our husband.
things. First of all,
Finally.
Our husband.
our
fuck you mean
husband,
our?
comrade. Are you
Anyways.
familiar with the Oliver vibe, Tonks, or do you need a little crash course?
Yeah.
Crash course. please.
Sexy man.
All right, don't listen to Phoenix. He is
That's-
fine. He is
that
fine as hell, but that's
barely
beside the
narrows
point.
list.
Yeah, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the entire cast?
Yeah.
So Oliver,
okay.
for lack of a better way to put it, he's just a silly guy.
Yeah.
He's a silly guy, very sarcastic. Enjoys pushing people's buttons.
A little cocky.
A little cocky. Oh, a lot of cocky, actually.
Bro, I heard that as
I-
bukkake. I'm so sorry.
I kind of imagine him as like
Yes to both.
similar voice to like Hawks from My Hero or something.
My
Oh, it's been way too long since I've seen that. But I think I got you.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Then you
And that
may
has been spark
proceed
notes.
when
You're too
ready,
slow.
Shrieky.
All right. Chapter 17 Sanctuary. Nyx lazily opened her eyes as she stirred awake from her slumber. The first time in a while she had slept in a bed that wasn't dusty or lumpy. She looked next to her, and anxiety fluttered when Nate wasn't there like he was the night before. Nyx got up of bed and looked in the vanity's mirror that was in the corner before turning to leave the room. She stumbled lazily down the stairs, still groggy from sleep. The moment she entered the living room, everyone's eyes halted her, including a woman who wasn't there the night before. The woman stood from her seat swiftly, staring at Nyx with an unreadable gaze. She was tall and had long black hair that fell over her shoulders and the long gray trench coat she was wearing. Deep blue eyes stared through Nyx as her hands trembled. This was a woman Nyx had seen in over 5 months. Everyone else was introducing this woman as the chairwoman, but Nyx only knew her as.
Mom?
Nyx whispered in shock. The woman smiled warmly at her before she held out her arms. Nyx stood her ground for a moment before tears welled in her eyes. Nyx gave in and rushed forward to hug her mother tightly.
Wait, that's her mom?
Reese asked as he leaned over to Nate, but he wasn't trying to hide the question.
You can't be surprised. She looks just like her.
Danny answered for Nate in his usual patronizing tone. It was then that Nyx released her mother and backed away, wiping the tears from her eyes.
What are you doing here?
Nyx asked her mother quietly.
I've actually been looking for you for a long time, since the day you didn't come home from school. It became a different story when Zachariah's men came to my door and told me you were an odd one and had to be taken away. It was a day I've been dreading since the moment you turned 18.
Nick's mother used air quotes around the offensive term before shoving her hands into her coat pockets.
I've been looking for all of you, actually, ever since Mary told me about you all.
She looked over at Mary, who smiled back knowingly.
Why were you looking for us? And wait, you know Zachariah?
Reeves asked her as he held up his hand.
It's time I tell you a story, kids. As you are all aware of, the Erebus Mafia is a problem that shouldn't be ignored.
Nick's mother said as she looked off into space, seemingly in thought.
How do you know about them?
Nix asked her mother cautiously. Her mom smiled in response.
Right, you wouldn't know about me.
She replied quietly before she addressed the group.
My name is Elizabeth Valentino, chairman of Blackwood Sanctuary for Gifted Youth.
The what?
Sol asked quietly, seeming to herself.
Please, let me finish. Blackwood Sanctuary is just that, a safe place for gifted youth to call home. It doubles as an educational facility where gifted individuals can practice their abilities in safety. We also are a defense against the world's wicked gifted. Society's police force wouldn't stand a chance in the event these wicked organizations choose to make a move, as you've all seen with the Erebus Mafia. I will bring you all there, where you can practice your abilities with little to no restrictions. You may even qualify as our new field agents.
Elizabeth finished her introduction as she looked at everyone intensely.
Wait, you will take us there. We don't get a choice?
Reese asked, worried this could be another Zachariah.
Of course you get a choice. However, the other options are less favorable. You will either be killed on the street by police, captured by Zachariah again, or you'll be killed by the Erebus Mafia.
Elizabeth spoke coldly as she eyed Reese.
You know what? Fair enough.
Bless.
Love it.
Do you want to stop for ads or keep going?
Oh. It'll be
We
fine.
take a quick commercial break.
We'll be right back after these messages. Consume Prilosec.
It'll be fine.
Whopper, Whopper,
Cause...
Burger, Whopper.
Oh my god.
It'll be.
This is a great opportunity for me to put the Wiz on Blu-ray.
What?
Oh. What?
Oh.
I gotta go release the Wiz on Blu-ray.
Y'all, we're in the middle
You
of
go
a scene.
release that movie.
Follow the yellow
in
brick road.
front of my line?
Oh my god.
Follow
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
the yellow brick road.
We'll be right back after these short messages. Have you or a loved one ever been dealing with some kind of disease?
The ad break is over.
You or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma.
That's what the
You
one
may
fucking
be
word I was thinking.
Wait, hold on. I got one.
Yeah, give it.
Today I want to talk to you about diabetes.
Diabetes.
The ad break is over.
Diabetes.
Death.
It's
Death.
just...
And death.
This will kill you.
This will not heal anything. It'll just commit a murder.
Hey narrator, do you want to continue?
Oh no, commercial break. Okay.
I said that 3 times.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Anyways, okay.
He's grumbled.
Okay. I love you.
Line.
Reese grumbled as he admitted defeat.
You said we'd be a form of defense. What does that mean?
Danny asked her suddenly. Elizabeth turned her head to face him.
Like I said, we are a secret force of gifted individuals who are taking an obligation to protect a society that clearly cannot protect themselves. When a threat surfaces, we will send out a team to a location and neutralize that threat. Teams will change based on what is needed for a mission. For some of these missions, combat will not be required, but a member of significant power will accompany them as a precaution.
Elizabeth explained thoroughly, which Danny appreciated.
I'm more than happy to answer more questions on the way, but we really must be going. There's a lot to do for new recruits.
Elizabeth then walked to the front door and stood next to it. The group looked at each other before Nate's gaze moved to his mother. She smiled at him with a bittersweet smile, as the rest of them got up and started filing out the house.
Yeah, I wish you can stay, mijo, but I know you must go. You have lives to save.
Mary said with pride as she adjusted his collar.
Just please call me from time to time, won't you?
Of course, Mama.
Nate responded as he leaned forward and kissed her forehead.
I'll come visit too if I can.
Veamos, mijo.
That's it. She whispered in her somber voice. Nate chuckled softly.
Te amo también, Mama.
Nate responded before he left the house, following the rest of his friends into Elizabeth's jet black limo. They were already seeing the back along with Elizabeth.
So, Mom.
Nick started as she looked at her mother. Everyone knew she was about to ask the questions burning brightest in all their minds.
Does this mean you're gifted?
Nix asked quietly, causing everyone to look at her as the limo lurched into motion. Elizabeth chuckled.
Elizabeth?
Nix?
It's your line.
You said it.
Yeah, she
What?
said it.
What?
You okay?
Are you
not
okay,
hear?
Jade?
What?
Damn, are you going deaf, girl?
Did my no? I think my Discord
Uh-oh.
just had a heart attack.
Oh, no, I think
Oh,
you
yeah,
had a
no,
heart
I-
attack. Stream went down for a hot second.
Oh no, bro, why
Oh.
now?
It did?
No,
wow.
not down,
The
but like,
interwebs.
It paused,
Lag.
right?
it paused. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat, are we back? Can you hear me?
Let me refresh the page.
Fen said we can't. All right, minor hiccup.
Yeah, we good. That's all, Chief.
My fault, gang.
Fuck your Wi-Fi, man.
When
Damn.
everyone's like, yeah, we heard her say the lines.
Are you
Damn.
okay?
Are
Elizabeth
you
took-
schizo, right? What's
Elizabeth
going
took
She was, like, in the
everyone's
middle of
attention
the
that the
line.
internet paused.
I even checked my mic. I'm like, oh my god, am I like muted and I didn't realize?
I'm so sorry. I'm so
We
sorry.
were like, we heard you.
No.
We heard you clearly. You're good.
It was just
Sorry.
like mid-line. It's
Literally,
your line.
it was like frame perfect. Streaky said Elizabeth chuckled. I heard nothing after that.
Oh, okay.
It was
Now,
like
take
frame
two, take two.
perfect.
All right.
All right,
Take two. All right,
Yep,
take
go.
two. Roll back. Camera's rolling. All right. Elizabeth and limo, take two. Okay.
Okay.
Elizabeth chuckled.
I was wondering when you'd ask me that. Yes, Nix, I'm gifted. There's a reason I'm the chairman.
Nick's eyes widened as she couldn't bring herself to speak.
Well, what can you do?
Nate asked, seeing Nick's wanted too, but couldn't.
Have any of you heard of the term time dilation?
Elizabeth asked as she looked at everyone.
Yes.
Danny responded to no one's surprise.
It's a phenomenon that causes time to move more slowly or more quickly, depending on several quantum variables.
Danny answered hesitantly, concerned about Elizabeth would say next.
That's correct. My ability is called time dilation. As I'm sure you can guess from Danny's concise explanation, I can speed up time or slow it down without affecting my own.
Elizabeth finished her explanation as the group stared at her with astonished gazes.
Holy shit. That sounds insanely powerful.
Reese said in a quiet disbelief. Elizabeth chuckled again.
That's because it is.
She responded in a slightly
Shit,
smug
alright,
tone.
queen.
Oh my god.
God, Queen, pop that pussy, I guess. Okay.
Oh.
Thank God Narissa doesn't have lines because I am panicking.
Look at Danielle in the chat. Dang, I forgot how smart Danny is. IQ 196, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Eat big brain, boy.
Yeah, I'm kind of smart.
Shut the fuck up.
You can hear him pushing up his glasses during
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. If this was animated, it would be the fucking scene where like push up the glasses and it's all
shine.
white out. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
I was
smile
actually
that.
scratching the back of my head. I'll let you know.
Boo, we're doing that one instead. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Sigma, you're
We
vile,
know what
first
you
of all.
really
We'll get to
wanted.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyways, okay.
I've already been made aware of my daughter's ability, and it seems strong abilities run in the family.
Fuck. I
You
lost
looked
my
at
She
Nick.
smiled. It's like the fourth paragraph. There you go.
Fourth paragraph. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Love you. She looked at Nyx and smiled. Nyx didn't smile back.
Were you ever gonna tell me? Were you ever going to tell me about this side of you?
Nyx asked her mom in a slight angry tone. Elizabeth's smile faded, and she sighed.
I was hoping I would never have to. I was hoping you could have lived a normal, carefree life. But that's not the world we live in.
Elizabeth responded quietly. Nyx could tell she was dreading this exact conversation. The limo took a left turn into a deep woods. Nyx ended the conversation there and looked out in the window. In the distance, she could see a huge collection of stone buildings peeking through the top of the tree line. The limo was definitely heading towards the collection of buildings.
I'm doing it anyway.
Here we are, kids. Sanctuary.
Elizabeth said as the rest of the group looked out the windows at the large building, their new home.
Sigma hates me.
What?
Confirm.
I'm gonna have to use the fucking. Okay.
Sorry, I'm really loving the comments inside chat.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Every time I look over, there's another comment about Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Look,
Hello?
I
Hello?
don't blame them.
Hello?
People have joined?
Someone has joined?
What?
Yeah.
Ah, Veronica.
Katerina.
Veronica,
Hello.
open the door, please. Veronica.
Veronica.
God damn it.
Oh shit.
Veronica, can we not fight anymore, please?
There's another
we
PNG
not
I have
fight
to
anymore?
add. Oh god, it's
Okay.
getting too
Also,
thick.
there is a redeem, by the way.
I'm aware.
So, yeah, nice to meet you, aware. Choose.
Huh? Wait, give me a goddamn
Play the
second.
game, woman.
Give me a fucking second.
No.
No.
Hurry up.
We do it
Go. Go.
Well,
do it.
herself?
Redeem.
Hold your fucking horses.
My horses are
Veronica,
held.
you need to type in
There
chat.
we go.
Stable them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I need to
Please,
figure out
you
where
need
I'm
to
gonna.
type in chat.
You know what? Veronica's gonna be Chat Goblin 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Join me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat type in stream chat.
All right. Who do we all
Type in
agree is
chat.
the weakest among the crew?
What?
Me.
Yourself.
Well, I mean, okay, are we talking about like ourselves or like the characters we play?
Currently,
Nah, please.
Talking about the redeem that Sigma.
So
The
the
first one.
redeem that I had is
Code
a
red.
good boy or girl or pet for the weakest among us.
Oh god damn it.
I
Yes,
don't need
Katerina.
to.
I think
Two people
Kat-
have already
What?
like commented on the
What?
spot too.
Oh,
The fact
you know who I
that
think-
the fact that you responded with a "oh god damn it," I feel like just the last
We
nail
know
in the
that.
coffin, really.
Yeah.
You narrowed it
Identify
down.
yourself.
Literally why I was trying
There's-
so hard not to say anything.
There may
Just
also-
leave
I
me
said-
alone.
And you
There's person
succeeded.
number 2, by the
Cat
way.
didn't.
I said, I know 2 people just squirmed in their seats. One spoke up immediately, the other one stayed quiet.
You know
Like,
what?
I-
I'm gonna
I didn't want to out
I
myself.
don't like just asking questions. I want to
Next.
make you think. I want to
Jay-
make you feel. I want to make you
will
squirm.
say-
It's fun.
Think.
Oh
Jade,
my.
I have
Yes.
a question.
What's up?
Since it's going to be towards Cat, can I do it because I'll do personal damage?
Oh.
Oh, bitch.
Do it! 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 Do it!
Yeah, all right.
I summon in attack mode. Do direct damage.
Yeah, all right.
Alright. Oh, darling. Oh, you're such a good girl, honey.
and then she died. Roll credits.
Yeah.
That was
God
super
damn, that's splash
effective.
damage. I'll
So
be
now,
damned.
we're looking for a new voice actor for Veronica.
Hi, I vote with Puddle.
You look over.
Not yet.
Family Guy guest pose on the ground.
Oh, I know what you really want, girl.
Tell me what you want. What you want.
What the fuck?
I'll tell you what I want. What I really want.
We're not. All right. All right. Okay. Wait. We still have a chapter. We still have 2 chapters to get through.
Yeah,
Please.
I have a short amount of time left. Let's go. Pop, pop. Anyways, action. Elizabeth led Nix and her friends into a building. The walls of this grand building were clearly very old, anyone could tell. Faded stone walls met with a stone tiled floor that was chipped in various spots. Elizabeth led them through the halls, and which were sparsely populated by a few other young adults passing by now and then. These strangers would stare at the newcomers as they passed, while a few would nod respectfully at Elizabeth. After a few minutes of silent walking, Elizabeth led them back outside through a different door. They walked on to an open field that was surrounded by a tall stone wall. Nix looked around. Her eye was caught by a group of 3 there that were out in the field, sparring with their abilities. It was 3 guys. One looked to be significantly younger than the other 2. The younger one had golden blonde hair that looked slightly messy and hung over his green eyes. He was standing in front of a taller guy with jet black undercut. The hair he had was wavy and long enough to cover his eyes. He was also covered in tattoos and had a nose ring on his right nostril. The third guy was sitting on the grass between them. He had pink hair and blue eyes that created an interesting contrast. His hair was like the black-haired guy, but not as wavy. The short blond boy lifted his hands, and 2 balls of bright yellow light formed in his palms before he threw them at the guy standing about 10 feet away from him. The black-haired guy lifted his head and smug grin before a black, transparent, circular shape appeared in front of him. The black-haired guy didn't even flinch as the balls of the light collided with the barrier in front of him. The short boy stomped in frustration as the pink-haired guy chuckled out loud.
Come on, Oliver. How am I supposed to get better if you won't even give me a chance?
Bless his heart.
I was not expecting that voice. Anyways, yeah.
He's a
Perfect.
kid.
If anything happens to him, I'll kill myself, and then it's entire school.
I want to point out
One
anytime I
line
read
comes out of Gregory's mouth, and Sigma's like, "That's my son."
I want to point out every time I read the black-haired guy, I immediately think of the Princess Bride of the 6-fingered man. I was so close to saying it. You can't. No. Okay. Anyways, okay. The blonde boy was acting like a child. He looked like one too, which confused the group. Abilities typically didn't manifest until age 18, but this boy seemed like he was like 13 or 14.
You're the one who asked him to train you, Greggy boy.
The pink-haired guy responded passively as he answered a text message on an old-looking flip phone. The black-haired guy, who they knew learned was named Oliver, pointed at his friend with a shrug.
I told you to call me Gregory, you asshole.
Gregory yelled at the pink-haired guy with a clenched fist. The group snickered in a slight surprise that this young boy had just cursed. The chairwoman cleared her throat, bringing the group's attention away from the bickering boys and back to her.
This is the yard. As you can see, it's where students can practice their ability with others in a safe environment.
She pointed to a large building on the other side of the yard.
Over there are the dorms, where you will all sleep. You will each have your own rooms, so you won't have to worry about space.
Elizabeth checked her watch and sighed in frustration.
I have something to do. I have something I have to do. Feel free to get acquainted with the space. You all should be summoned later for orientation.
Elizabeth said as she turned and walked away, leaving the new recruits to fend for themselves in their new environment.
Great. We're at school. Again.
Hooray!
Oh God!
Oh, good.
Reese grumbled as he looked around.
Hey,
A voice interrupted Nate as he was about to speak. They all looked and saw Oliver jogging towards them with his pink-haired friend alongside him.
you guys are the new blood, right?
Oliver asked as he looked at each of them, before his gaze landed on Nyx and he raised an eyebrow.
Yeah, that's right.
You okay, dog?
Calm down.
Just imagine it's the crazy eyes like
That was secretly just Kyle in the background, just hee hee.
Essentially.
God damn it.
God damn it, this is killing me. Anyways, Nate answered him, his eyes lay darting between Nyx and Oliver. The two guys exchanged a look.
Well, I'm Oliver, and this is Kyle.
Yo.
Oliver said as he gestured to his friend, who did a small wave with his two fingers.
Consider us the welcoming committee.
Kyle spoke up with a sly grin.
You see, there's a bit of initiation for new blood. A duel.
A duel?
Dan repeated in veiled concern.
That's right, a duel.
Oliver spoke again before he exchanged another look with Kyle.
And since you all showed up as a group, I get to choose my opponent.
Oliver looked at them all, with his hands on his chin.
I choose you.
Pikachu.
You beat me by 2 seconds.
Not Phoenix with the oh fuck hot men. Kyle and Oliver, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
I'm dying.
too bad. Anyways.
That's okay. I'm welcoming it.
Yeah, suffer. Anyways, he said quietly as he pointed out, I love you, so it's okay. Anyways, he said quietly as he pointed at Nyx.
I love you, Squeakers.
Love you too, Squeakers. Love you. Anyways.
Goodbye. Bye, Squeakers.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye. Bye, Squeakers.
Bye, we love you.
Boy. He said quietly as he pointed at Nyx. She scoffed and rolled her eyes.
So what? You just go around fighting girls now?
Maybe.
You know that boy is.
Skill issue.
Nate objected with an irritated tone.
Yeah, you have nothing better to do with your time? Is that what's going on?
Look, this is happening, buddy. Get over it.
Oliver said it with a flat tone before he walked away from the group. Kyle turned and stood next to the rest of the group as Oliver continued walking away. He stood about 10 feet from them and turned around.
You guys should probably back away from her. This could get messy.
Also, that's
Let me kick his ass.
Let me kick his ass.
Be like Reese, go kill him. Fuck that bitch.
Reese, sick him.
Oliver taunted with a cocky grin. Nick's friends all looked at her with concern. She nodded subtly before they all moved between her and Oliver. They took a few steps back until they were at a safe distance. Nick stared at Oliver with a cold gaze. She was feeling confident, but still concerned. Considering how cocky this guy was being, she guessed he had a reason to act like this. The group watched intently as Nick stepped forward and stood in a normal posture. She didn't want to do this, but this guy wasn't giving her much of a choice. Her eyes narrowed. She guessed he would start by throwing a berry at her.
I hope you know the guys here aren't above hitting girls.
Damn, feminist. Anyways,
My lord.
Oliver said in a casual tone. Nix knew that, of course. If you were born gifted, you should really get used to pain.
Good. Wouldn't mean much if you held back.
Nick shot back with an even gaze. A black transparent barrier manifested in front of Oliver before it began spinning, faster and faster, until it looked like a large ball from how fast it was spinning. He grinned. at Nyx before the barrier shot towards her. Nyx raised one hand in front of her, hoping to stop it in place. Shock spread across her face when the barrier didn't stop. Nyx acted on pure instinct, and a violent glow outlined her as she switched her gravitational grasp to her own body. She moved out of the way in the blink of an eye. Nyx shifted. When Nyx shifted, it seemed like a wind hadn't even blown through her hair. It was as if Nyx was exempt from Earth's gravity. A huge grin spread across Nate's face. He'd never seen her do that before.
Wow!
Nerissa exclaimed excitedly, the first bit of the positive emotion she showed since they rescued her from Kuroi.
You know, word spreads real fast around here.
Oliver started as he turned his body to face where Nyx had shifted.
I know you can manipulate gravity and anything that's affected by gravity. Unfortunately for you, my barriers aren't affected by gravity. They're made of pure energy and don't follow the laws of physics.
Oliver taunted to psych her out.
Oh, good. Then it'll be a real fight.
Nyx shot back, not taking his bait. Oliver chuckled.
I like you.
He mused before Nyx heard another barrier manifest behind her. She turned her head to get a glimpse and saw it speeding towards her. Nyx quickly locked herself in place, and the barrier slammed into her back as he held her arms behind her to cushion the blow. The impact felt much harder than she was expecting.
Your barriers may not be affected by gravity, but I sure am.
Nyx taunted as the barrier pushed onto her back, but it was immovable thanks to Nyx.
Clever. Except now you're stuck.
Oliver said before another barrier manifested in front of him, and it shot towards Nyx. It was going to crush her in between them if she didn't move. Nurse gasped in concern before Nate held up his arm in front of her.
Relax.
Nate said in a soft tone without taking his eyes off the fight. He was more than confident in Nyx's abilities. Kyle eyed Nate from the side of his vision, but he kept quiet as he returned his gaze to the fight. Nyx shifted again and appeared behind Oliver, and he spun around with a grin on his face as a smaller barrier manifested in front of his arms he'd brought up to a guard. Nyx sent a roundhouse into the black barrier and sent Oliver sliding back a few yards before coming to a stop.
Oh, impressive. I can always appreciate a girl who knows how to fight.
Oliver teased her with a slight taunting tone. Nyx gritted her teeth as she hovered a foot above the ground. Nate gritted his teeth as well. He didn't like the way Oliver was talking to her.
Don't worry, I've got more.
Nyx shot back before she shifted behind him again. He turned around and swung his arms with a fist. Nyx shifted again to avoid it and appeared behind him. She thrusted her hand forward with a loud grunt. Oliver was sent flying backwards at high speed. He quickly reoriented himself. As he flew and manifested a barrier behind him, he planted his feet against the barrier before sending it flying back towards Nyx. Her eyes widened before she tried to shift a few feet to the side to avoid it, but it didn't work. She tried to shift again, but a splitting headache that caused her to wince in pain punished her. Oliver barreled into her with a manic grin on his face. Nyx grunted as she doubled over around his shoulder. Oliver released Nyx before he rolled over himself to recover from the speed he was moving. Nyx was sent a few feet farther before she hit the ground and rolled on the side a few times before stopping. Nate took one step forward, hoping to put a stop to the fight. Nate halted in place when Reese held his arm up in front of him.
This is a duel, dude. You can't intervene.
Reese said to him in a stern tone. Nate looked up at Reese.
But what if...
I won't let it go too far.
Reese cut Nate off as he tried to protest. Nyx lifted her head before she wiped her nose. She looked at her hand and saw blood.
Oh, someone doesn't know how to manage their energy.
Oliver clicked his tongue as he taunted her.
That's important, you know. If you don't manage your energy well, you'll burn out and it'll hurt you.
You're giving me a lesson now?
Nyx asked in frustration tone as she stood up again, wiping the rest of the blood from her nose with the back of her hand.
Just one agent helping another.
Oliver responded before he manifested another barrier behind her and a shot towards her. Nyx turned her head to look behind her, waiting for the perfect moment to jump. She planted her feet on the barrier and was sent flying towards Oliver on it. He saw this and a smirk spread across his face.
Bold,
he said to himself before another barrier manifested in front of him to protect himself. Nyx's eyes widened as she realized she had no choice but to use her ability again. She locked herself in place about 3 feet away from the barrier as her throbbing headache continued. Oliver saw the strained look on her face and smiled as it grew wider.
You've got quite the resolve, don't you?
Oliver said as he shoved his hand in his pockets.
Judging on the blood dripping from your nose, I'm guessing you can't hold that for very long.
Oliver taunted before he leaned forward slightly.
What you gonna do now?
Nate looked over at Kyle when he heard him sigh deeply. He saw Kyle gently face-palming and shaking his head. Nate clenched his fist as he looked back at the fight. This asshole was going way too far. Not letting up when she was clearly in pain. He could have stayed quiet anymore. Nate yelled to get Oliver's attention. Oliver turned his head to look at Nate before his whole body tensed. Nate's eyes was glowing red as he activated his ability. Oliver's brown eyes flashed red to match Nate's as their gaze met.
Oliver, deactivate your gift.
Nate growled at his command in anger. Kyle looked over at Nate with a surprised look before he looked back when...
Oh shit, son.
Oliver's barriers suddenly faded out of existence. Nyx dropped onto her hands and knees with a short sigh of relief as Nate released Oliver from his grasp. Nerissa and Danny ran over to Nyx and they each took an arm to help her to her feet. Oliver shook his head to clear the fog from his mind as Kyle approached him.
All right, fine.
Oliver said in a casual tone as he held up his hands.
Idiot.
Kyle said as he lightly punched Oliver in the shoulder.
Ow. All right, I get it. I went a little too far.
Oliver said as he rubbed his arm.
I was just psyched to fight the chairman's daughter.
Danny and Marissa shot him an angry glare as they helped Nyx walk back towards Nate, Reese, and Soul. Nate met them halfway and ran his hands to her head.
Are you alright, Masa?
He asked her sweetly.
I'm fine.
Nyx said as she gently swatted Nerissa and Danny off her before wiping the rest of the blood from her nose.
He's right, though. I need to learn to manage my energy better.
See? I was helping her.
Oliver called towards them before Nate shot him an angry look. You could already tell he didn't like this guy. The group turned away from Oliver and walked towards the dorm building that Elizabeth pointed out. Oliver stood there watching them leave for a moment before he looked over at his friend. Kyle was already looking at him with a slightly condescending look. Oliver rubbed the back of his head.
Yeah, that wasn't very smooth, was it?
Kyle sighed before bopping Oliver on the side of the head.
No shit, you fucking idiot.
Ow, why?
Oliver said loudly before rubbing his head where Kyle hit him. Kyle smirked a bit.
Once wasn't enough.
I knew you
End
couldn't
chapter
trust me.
Anyways.
17.
Kyle and Oliver, ladies and gentlemen, they're finally
Hey.
among us.
Listen,
Oh, I
you're
have a
both
faddish
pretty.
crush on the new characters.
Both of them? Oh my, okay. Well, I have the
God, I love
fattest
both of them.
crush.
It's called being sandwiched.
God,
Alright.
oh my god, that's so real.
Love Mount.
Man, I had so many lines there. That was
Well,
tough, man.
That was tough.
I believe it,
Oh
Doc.
my god, I just saw side chat Nate right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
Oh
But anyway,
my lord.
that is the last chapter I'll be participating for tonight. As I have
That
to go make dinner and
is
prepare for the stream.
a-okay. Felix can take over narration again.
I need to head off too.
Okay.
Okay. Aw, you're gonna miss your Oliver buddy.
What?
He did. Listen,
Oh.
listen. All right, man. Tongs did a really good Oliver voice. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad.
You're
I
welcome.
wish
That
to
was
quickly
fucking great.
say, all I wish to quickly say is I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of the stream, and Jade,
Yes.
I hope you have a wonderful rest of your birthday.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Aw, what?
Yeah.
What
Get
the?
fucking loved on.
What the fuck?
Get loved on, bitch.
So real. We love you, Jay.
Many
What?
years ago, you wrote this silly little story on a silly little website, and now here we are. reading it
I'm
out
so
loud
proud
to a
of
bunch
you.
people. And you're releasing 3 books on Amazon. Which
Which
you
you
can
can
order now.
buy.
Which you can buy.
$24.99 or
Please.
$44.99.
I have makeup
The
on.
three
Don't make me
logos.
cry.
Too bad. I'll make you cry.
Oh,
Anyways.
good to know.
Sob.
I'm gonna make you
I'll
cry.
ruin your makeup even more, baby.
Whoa.
Anyways, I gotta dip. Have a
God,
wonderful rest of your evening,
later.
everyone.
Oh, Danny's
Bye,
about to
Jade.
Danny's about to lose his hat.
Why?
Hey, Jade.
No!
Oh.
What? Who said my name?
I mean, I can sit
Me.
on that.
Tonks, what's up?
З днем рождения.
Huh?
Ghost?
Yeah, that's
Stop saying happy birthday.
Huh?
I wasn't ready for that.
You
I
keep
just took
that.
a sip
You
like
keep
friggin'
that
dog.
shit. You keep that shit back there, doctor. All right.
Bye. Have fun.
Bye, Tongs.
Bye, Tonks.
Bye.
Thanks for
Mwah.
coming.
Mwah.
You did good.
Bye.
I'll kiss you later, baby. Damn it. Fuck.
Just DM him. It's alright.
Anyway, chapter 18. Felix, are you alive?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No.
You can take over narration again if you would like. Very
Okay.
cool. Very cool.
Let's finish out strong, brother.
Let's finish out strong.
I'll finish
Chapter-
you strong.
Oh.
What?
Oh my god, that gif inside chat. That's literally Kyle to Oliver.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway, move on. Sorry.
Chapter 18. The Interview. After asking a dorm attendant to direct them to Nix's room, the group went upstairs to the 3rd floor and found it.
Room 3F. This is it.
Danny said as he gestured to the room number. His eyes moved down to a small nameplate under the room number that said Nix Valentino. He gestured to the nameplate with a small chuckle. Nix opened the door and they all peeked inside. It was clean and decorated to fit Nix's aesthetic. She smiled as she assumed her mother did this, expecting Nix would end up here and wanted her to be comfortable.
Hey, check it out.
Nate piped up, causing the group to look outside at what he was referring to. He was gesturing to the room across from Nix's door. It was labeled 3E and had Nathan Oliveira printed under it.
Oh, awesome.
Nick said, slightly happy and already recovering from her mental exhaustion.
I wonder if your guys' rooms are nearby.
She asked out loud as she walked down the hall. Next to Nate's room, she saw Danny's. Next to Danny's, she saw Rye's. On the left side of Nix's room, she found Narissa's room, followed by Sol's. On the left side of Nate's room, she found...
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
She grumbled as she saw the name plate labeled Oliver Gray.
I was really hoping we wouldn't have to see him much, but I guess that's the downside of living in the same building.
Danny grumbled as he leaned against the wall next to Nix's door.
Hey, I'm gonna go check out my room.
Sol said quietly before she left without another word, disappearing into her room. The rest of them looked.
Right.
Yeah, she has a different voice actor, so therefore that could probably be it. Danny asked the group with a hint of worry.
Stream died again.
Oh no, not of the joke.
Damn, that's crazy.
No, they heard the joke.
Alright,
They
run
just
it back.
they heard the
Dang,
joke.
Daddy, that's some crazy stuff.
They heard the joke.
Daniel?
It was just
Zam, Daniel.
oh my god.
Back
Hit it again with the white
The
bag.
white vans.
I'm done. Get out.
All right, I'll see
Bye.
myself out.
No.
No, I'm
No.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, no.
Every word Danny asked.
Just do the Danny line again.
Fuck. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Take two.
So she's been acting differently, right?
Danny asked the group with a hint of worry.
I mean, she's always been a little standoffish and quiet, but she hasn't said a word since we got here. This is definitely different.
Nix responded in a quiet tone, so Sol wouldn't hear.
Maybe she still hasn't gotten over Jack's death.
Nerissa piped up quietly.
That wouldn't surprise me. It happened like a week ago.
Danny said to them in a flat tone. The group was shocked for a moment. It felt like it was long ago, but it was truly only a little over a week.
Definitely not long enough to get over the death of a friend, especially if they were as close as they seemed to be.
Rye stared off into space, remembering the conversation he and Sol had in her old room at the lake house. He would have told he would have to tell someone at some point, but only if he was really concerned it was bound to happen. The group jolted when the BA system cracked to life. Attention attention, would all new recruits kindly report to the chairman's office? I repeat, all new recruits to the chairman's office. Thank you. A female voice sounded through the PA.
Is Sigma
Beast.
alive? Because he's muted. Sigma, are you just...
No, he said that he was on a phone call.
Oh, I see, I see.
Okay.
But Vito, take Reese for a second.
Oh, great. Orientation all over again.
Reese grumbled in passive annoyance. Sol came out of her room with a blank look to follow her friends as they made their way to Elizabeth's office. It was a large and casually elegant room. Hardwood floors greeted them as they stepped inside, a sudden change from the chipping tile outside. Elizabeth could be seen seated at her desk, fidgeting with some sort of wooden puzzle cube. She placed it on her desk as the new recruits approached.
Hello, children. I hope your first day here has been eventful so far.
Elizabeth trailed off when she noticed the dried. Sorry. Elizabeth trailed off when she noticed the dried blood under Nix's nose. She hadn't had the time to clean up before coming here. Elizabeth sighed.
You've been here barely an hour, and you got into a fight?
Hey, I didn't start it. It was that asshole Oliver.
Nix protested as she crossed her arms and looked away.
I'm sure it was.
Elizabeth said with a calm and cool tone.
That doesn't mean you have to take his bait.
But he told me it was an initiation for new agents.
Nix grumbled to her mother. The rest of the group were like bobbleheads as they looked between the arguing women.
Please, Nick. Do you think we are so barbaric to pin new agents against veterans like Oliver?
Elizabeth answered as she looked at her daughter. Nix's gaze changed to slight confusion.
Veteran? He looked like he was maybe 20 at the oldest.
She thought to herself before Elizabeth changed the subject.
In any case, I have more important matters to discuss with you all.
Elizabeth said as she stood up.
I've brought you all in here because, as of this moment, you are all unranked. Therefore, you must undergo an interview to determine what your ranking will be. I will warn you, the questions you will be answering will be personal, and maybe even upsetting. I will ask that you do not lie, and do not withhold information. There will be someone accompanying the interview who will tell if you're lying or not.
You have a human lie detector?
Reese asked.
Yes.
Elizabeth answered flatly.
He will use his ability to determine if you're telling the truth. So, lying would be a waste of time. I will bring you into the next room one by one. You will all answer the questions and be assigned your rank. This rank will determine what missions you will be eligible to take.
The group looked at each other as Elizabeth explained this interview. It sent a chill down a few of their spines, not knowing what questions they were going to be asked.
Nix, you're first.
She said flatly, before she turned and walked towards a silver door. She placed her palm on a pad next to the door and it slid open.
The rest of you can wait here until I call your name.
Nix looked at her friends before she followed her mother into the room. She saw a large table with a chair on one side and two chairs on the other side facing the lone chair. A man was already sitting in one chair. He had a very short blond hair and large glasses hiding his eyes. Nick sat down in the singular chair as Elizabeth sat down next to the man. Elizabeth gestured to the man next to her.
This is Jonathan, our human lie detector. He will
Be able to tell if I'm lying or not. Yeah, I get it.
Nix cut off her rather rudely, not intending to sound that way, but she was tired and was making her cranky. Elizabeth huffed through a small smirk.
All right, let's begin. Since I already know the day you discovered your ability, I only need to know how it happened.
Nix clutched her fists as they set on her legs.
These jerks jumped us at school. Me, Nate, and Alex. They beat us up pretty badly before this one guy stabbed Nate. Then it felt like something was churning in my stomach, desperately clawing to get out. I screamed, and I remember thinking I wanted to kill that guy for hurting him. The next thing I knew, the guy's knife was stabbed into his own throat.
Hello, motherfucker.
Sky, I'm in the middle of a reading. What are you doing? My lord. Then, the metal pipes that were suspended above us fell. I remember holding up my hands and just stopped them. The girls that were there ran away and called the police. So, Nate and I ran.
Nix's voice was shaken by the time she finished her story. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan, and he wordlessly nodded.
All right, next question. When and how did Zachariah capture you and Nate?
Elizabeth asked in a flat tone. Nix tensed at the question, remembering all the events at this trial.
He tricked me. He made me think he was kind and caring, hoping to rescue gifted people. He lied. He beat Nate and his family to a pulp and clapped a collar on me while I was in shock. We were on the run for a few months before he got us, though.
Nix was looking at her lap now. She knew that her mother had to ask these questions, but that doesn't mean she had to like it. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan for confirmation again. He nodded at her.
All right. Since I'm already familiar with your ability, I'll skip that question. Do you believe that, if the need was great, you could take someone's life?
Elizabeth asked rather coldly. Nick's head jolted up to look at her mother, with shock plastered on her face.
What?
Nick's voice shook.
I know how it must seem. Taking a life is never easy, but in this line of work, sometimes it's necessary. I wish I didn't have to ask you this, but I do.
Elizabeth sounded suddenly sincere. Nix hesitated as she looked back down at her lap, her mind rationalizing her new existence. She thought about her friends and how they saved her from those who would hurt her, how they saved her from herself. If anyone hurts them.
Yeah, I could take a life.
Nix responded evenly. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan again. He nodded.
All right, Nix. I have enough basic information. I'm designating you as an S class.
Nix looked up to her mother before she slowly stood up. Elizabeth got up as well and walked her to the door, leaning out as Nix left the room.
Nathan, you're next.
She called out. Nate locked eyes with Nix as he passed her and entered the room. He sat down at the table and looked at Elizabeth with a hard gaze.
All right, Nathan. Since I know about a few of the answers to my questions because you were alongside Nix, I'll skip those. So, first question. What is your
Elizabeth
ability?
Elizabeth asked as she placed her interlocking hands on the table.
Telepathy and mind control.
Nate answered flatly, and Elizabeth looked at Jonathan. He nodded.
All right. How much of a grasp would you say you have on your ability?
She asked him. Nate trailed his lips.
I'd say fairly good. I mean, I've improved since I discovered it.
Nate responded as he relaxed a bit. He knew this woman well, but he couldn't place why he felt so on edge. Elizabeth didn't look at Jonathan. It seemed like that was just a curiosity question. She looked back over at Nate.
Right. If the need was great, do you think you could take a life?
Yes.
Nate answered without hesitation. Nate noticed that Elizabeth's eyebrows twitched ever so slightly. Most people wouldn't have noticed. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan, and he nodded slowly. Elizabeth then looked back at Nate as she smiled subtly.
Good. I'm designating you as an S class.
She said as she locked eyes with him.
A
Danny
plus.
was next.
Gold
End of
star.
scene. Gold star.
Gold star.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Yay.
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
You're
Gold
fine.
star and a head pat.
Patty,
Let's go.
please. I give you a pat on the head. Pat, pat.
Beat, beat.
Anyway.
Elizabeth shuffled through the papers in front of her.
All right, Daniel.
Danny.
He corrected her flatly after she spoke. Elizabeth paused and looked up at him from under her eyebrows.
Right, Danny. What is your ability?
She asked him after she recovered from his sudden correction.
Super prediction?
Danny answered flatly. He noticed that her hand tightened around her pen slightly.
Could you elaborate on that?
She asked him slowly.
I can find out the combination to any lock in seconds, and I can see a few seconds into the future to avoid a lethal event.
Danny clarified. Elizabeth then shared a different look with Jonathan. He nodded slowly as he tried to hide his shock. Danny's eyes narrowed slightly in confusion. Elizabeth cleared her throat.
All right. When and how were you captured by Zachariah?
Elizabeth asked in a quieter tone. Danny took a deep breath.
This asshole named Derek spread a rumor that I was an odd one to slander my name. It turned out he was correct, and I was taken from my home. That's all.
Elizabeth turned her head slightly to look at Jonathan. He nodded.
All right, Danny. For this next question.
She trailed off before reaching under her desk, pulling out a small voice recorder and hitting record. Danny's whole body tensed.
Do you have to?
He asked quietly as he kept glancing at the recorder. Elizabeth studied his eyes. They looked uncomfortable, and even slightly afraid. Her face softened before she pressed stop on the recorder and put it back into her pocket.
I guess not. Danny, what happened during your encounters with the Erebus Mafia?
Elizabeth tried to keep her voice off, but Danny's heart still slammed against his ribs. It suddenly felt as though his breath had been taken away. The images of his time in that hellish place flashed in his mind at light speed. Only this time, his sister wasn't there to break him out of it.
Danny,
Elizabeth said in a sharp tone. He snapped out of his trance as a nervous drop of sweat fell over his brow. He took a deep breath.
Oh my god, my chair. I'm so sorry.
Was kidnapped by Damien Erebus. He tortured me for. I'm still not really sure how long it was. It felt like a lifeline. Lifeline? Lifetime. Everyone I. Everyone I arrived here with. Oh. I read that wrong. My fault. Let me read. Everyone I arrived here with saved me from that place, except for one, Jack. He lost his life just before we were about to escape. The head of the clan, Kuroi Kage, killed him right in front of us. I also killed Damien. I stabbed him with his own blade, the same blade he used to stab into me over and over again.
Annie recalls the events as she stared into space with wide eyes.
anything else?
Elizabeth asked in a quiet and calm tone.
Remember, you're safe here.
Danny glanced up at her before looking back down.
Yes, a while after they rescued me, I had a strange and extremely vivid nightmare. I saw my sister, Narissa, swimming towards me as we were both in deep water. She was reaching towards me for help when Kuroi appeared behind her and stabbed her through the heart with his shadows. When I woke up screaming, I discovered he'd kidnapped her. My dream was a bit of a warning, I guess. He took her to lure me into his clutches, but I was forced to face him by myself.
And you survived.
Elizabeth said as she glanced at Jonathan, who looked at her with an equally shocked expression.
I only survived because of Reese and Kuroi. Wait, what? And bro, I'm having like a biggest brain fart right now.
You're fine.
You're doing great,
Take a
sweetie.
deep breath.
I only survived because of Reese. Kuroi had me by the throat and was about to kill me, but Reese stopped him and forced him to retreat. I held my own for a while, but I definitely couldn't have survived that night without Reese.
Annie's eyes flashed in sickening recognition as he recalled that night. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan, and he nodded back to her. She straightened her posture.
Very well. I designate you as S class.
What?
Danny's head perked in surprise.
How am I an S class?
Because you show incredible bravery and potential, and you stare down Kuroi Kage and live, a feat that few people can claim.
Elizabeth sounded stern and sure about her decision.
Also, you don't need to hide that dagger. You're allowed to have a weapon for protection, especially with an ability like yours.
Danny's eyes widened suddenly, remembering Damien's dagger he had strapped under his shirt.
You may go.
She added before Danny quietly stood up and left the room. Narissa was next.
Finally,
End of
lines.
scene.
Yippee! Oh fuck.
Are you ready?
Oh, it starts right off with an Elizabeth line.
It does. All right, Narissa. What is your ability?
Elizabeth asked her as she looked at Narissa with a gentle gaze.
Water manipulation. I can use it to find internal injuries if I have a water source. I can heal almost any injury.
She answered with a slightly shaky voice. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan, and he shook his head. Narissa tensed.
Jonathan seems to think you aren't telling the entire truth.
Elizabeth said in a stern tone.
You're safe here, Narissa. Please, tell us the truth.
Nerissa hesitated.
I I can also manipulate a person's blood more accurately, the water inside their blood. That's how I detect injuries, but I can also use it lethally.
Nerissa choked out as she began to tear up.
Easy, child. It's all right. I just need a clear picture of your capabilities.
Elizabeth spoke in a gentle tone that could only be achieved by a mother. Nerissa nodded in response, breathing deeply to calm herself.
All right, Nerissa. Luckily for you, I don't need to ask any more questions. Based on your ability alone, I have already designated you an S class. In fact, I would like to offer a position for you, our doctor.
Elizabeth smiled at her.
A doctor?
Nerissa repeated in surprise.
Yes. Often our agents will return injured. We only have one healer here, and this often leaves the poor girl swamped. You can be her extra set of hands, as well as a field medic.
Elizabeth explained as she stood up, signifying they were done here. Nerissa smiled warmly at the thought of being able to help people, rather than hurt them. Soul was next.
Oh boy.
End of scene.
Yay.
Whenever you're ready, Elizabeth.
All right. Now, Soul. I won't ask what your ability is because I know your last name.
Fuck,
Oh.
sorry. That got me.
Choked on my
El-
coke.
Elizabeth started as she locked eyes with Soul.
I'm not like them.
Soul snapped back defensively.
I know. So instead, I will ask you this. Do you resent Danny for killing your brother?
Elizabeth asked as her eyes hardened. Soul stiffened. She was not expecting this question.
That's not an easy question to answer.
I understand, but try your best.
Elizabeth responded.
Well, I know what Damien did to him was horrible. I probably would have done the same thing if I were in Danny's position. So, no, I can't hate him for that.
Soul responded as she met Elizabeth's gaze. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan, who nodded. Elizabeth hesitated before asking her final question.
Okay. Do you feel an obligation to your family?
No.
Soul answered sharply. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan, who nodded.
Good. I'm designating you as an S class.
Elizabeth spoke clearly before standing up. Already done with the interview with her, Reese was last. End of scene.
Oh boy.
Catman.
Catman. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Just to be
Meow.
absolutely sure, it's Ortega, right?
Yes.
Okay. Reese
Fade.
Ortega.
What?
Oh.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No,
I
you.
didn't hear the question, and I was about to say, "Is it pronounced Ortega?" And then you were literally about to say it, so I was about to say, "Fuck."
It's fine. Okay. Reese Ortega. What is your ability?
He asked quickly.
I have almost all the characteristics of a hardened alley cat. Night vision, insane speed and endurance. I can grow claws and fangs when I'm pissed off.
Ooh.
Can't really control myself when I get like that. I end up hurting people around me, friend or not.
Reese said in an annoying tone, remembering when he almost hurt Danny. Elizabeth looked at Jonathan again, and he nodded.
All right. Your friend Danny informed me you saved his life from Kuroikage. How did you achieve that?
Elizabeth asked him, and his eyes narrowed slightly.
I was enraged. I saw Karor holding him down and about to slash his throat, so I stopped him. Simple as that.
Reese said sternly as he was locked in eye contact with Elizabeth. She looked at Jonathan, who confirmed his answer.
Well, Reese, judging by the strength of your gift, you would make a valuable field agent. So I'm designating you as an S class. However, I will ask that you try your hardest to avoid losing yourself, unless you have no other choice, at least until you can learn to control it.
Elizabeth said as she folded her hands in front of her.
You may leave with your friends back to the dorms. I imagine you all have much to discuss.
She said as she looked at him, but didn't get out of her chair. Reese stood up and left the room. He was greeted by his friends, eyes on him. Neat.
Sorry, muted. Well, we still got some daylight to kill. You guys want to go get some food?
Neat as his friends as he shoved his hands into his pockets.
No, I'm kind of exhausted from the fight earlier. You guys go, though.
Nix responded as she rubbed her right eye with her fist.
All right, Hermosa. I'll grab you something. You go get some rest, okay?
Neat said with a gentle tone before he pulled her in by her waist and kissed her goodbye. Nix smiled before her friends walked down the opposite hall from her towards the cafeteria, while Nix went to the dorms. When Nix got close to her room, she huffed in frustration as she saw Oliver leaning against the wall next to his room, scrolling on his phone. He lifted his head and noticed her before standing up straight and putting his phone in his back pocket. Nix tried to ignore him and just get to her room, but Oliver wouldn't be ignored. He kept calling her names until his hand stopped her when it planted against a wall in front of her, blocking her path.
Oh, who's gonna fill in for Oliver now that Tonks is gone?
Uh,
Uh,
Vito.
Vito, I believe in you.
Wait up,
The
will ya?
noise.
Oh,
Oh.
try again?
Wait up, will ya?
Oliver protested as he blocked her way.
What do you want? To gloat?
Nick said to him coldly. Oliver lowers his arm.
I'm trying to apologize. I didn't mean to go too far.
He sounded genuine, but his normally casual tone still put Nix on edge.
You definitely made a really shitty first impression.
Nix taunted as she crossed her arms. Oliver smoked subtly, making Nix narrow her eyes in suspicion.
Let me make it up to you. I'm throwing a party tomorrow night in the woods next to the campus. Even though it's outside the walls, we're still hidden enough that no one bothers us. You should come with your friends. It'll be fun.
Oliver said with a genuine smile. Nix had no problem keeping her suspicious plastered on her face.
Maybe. I'll talk to them.
Nix responded before she began walking past him and unlocked her door.
Cool. See you then.
Oliver responded as he slowly backed up towards his own room.
I said maybe.
Nix said to him as she leaned out from her doorway.
Yeah, I know.
Oliver said with another smirk.
I'm just feeling optimistic.
Nix rolled her eyes before entering her room fully. She took a deep breath as she immediately felt at home. Nix flopped down onto her bed and closed her eyes, feeling more at peace than she had in a long time.
Maybe this could be a real home.
Danny entered his room later that night, groggy from a full day and a full stomach. He flicked on the light before he had to do a double take, spotting something on his dresser. A pair of wide-rimmed glasses, just like the pair he lost when he was Damien's plaything. There was a note underneath them. Danny picked up the glasses and put them on. He smiled softly when he realized they were his exact prescription as well. He could finally see clearly again. Danny then picked up the folded note and opened it.
Elizabeth.
All right. I'm sorry about what they did to you. We will put a stop to them. for good.
E.
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 Oh
And
my
book.
god.
End
End
book.
of
End of
book.
Roll credits.
Yippee woohoo!
And there we have the ending of book 2. However,
No,
it's
if you
not
scroll
over
down,
yet.
you have
It's
all.
not over yet, babies. It's not over yet because anybody who has the
Ooh.
physical copies and read through those may know about this super silly little thing that I did at the end of the second book and will be continuing to doing to all of the subsequent books. Thank you for the celebration. Thank you. Thanks guys. Anyway, ooh, there's a blank page. Don't worry about that. Oh, what is this?
My
I can
God.
do the
What
I can do
is
the computer
this?
voice.
Sure.
All right. Login confirmed. Password required to access sensitive files. Error, incorrect password. Override engage. Access granted. Welcome AE. Loading files. Case number 579A. Name Nix Valentino. Codename Infinity. Age 19. Defining features: female Caucasian, 5 foot 1 inch height, long black hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a white jumpsuit. Ability: suspected telekinesis. After observing her in combat in the arena, it is suspected we are mistaken, and her ability may in fact have something to do with gravity. Other notes: Nyx has proven herself to be a crafty one. It's speculated that she and another group of odd ones conspired to break out of the compound during the Everest Mafia attack in the late August, enclosed in a separate file. Nyx and these other odd ones, file, the arena, fled the arena and their whereabouts are currently unknown. During the escape, Nyx managed to lift a chunk of earth the size of a semi-truck out of the ground with minimal effort. Consider changing to S-Class. Priority level is high because of her destructive nature.
And then we got official art, baby. Oh my god.
Official art.
Next, we have the man, the myth, the legend.
Case number 695S. Name Nathan Oliveira. Codename Puppet Muster.
Yo, let's go, Puppet Mustard! Yeah!
Puppet Mustard!
Try again.
And mustard.
It was a yeah that got me.
I'm sorry.
Puppet ketchup.
Codename
Pocket mayonnaise.
his dad.
So, is their theme like from now on just the Kendrick Lamar mustard call? Because that's what I heard.
I mean,
Yes.
In my head, that's what goes now, and I don't think I can be convinced otherwise, though.
Jade nicknamed them that.
Oh wait.
No.
Oh, I think something just clicked for Danielle.
Oh shit.
elaborate. Elaborate.
God, why are you so
Codename
hot?
Puppet Master.
Codename
Age.
Puppet Master.
Age 18. Defining feature: male Latino, 5 foot 9 inches height, shaggy black hair, green eyes, last seen wearing white jumpsuit. Ability: telepathy and mind control. Although it seems like the mind control aspect of his ability is in a very weak state as of this moment in time. Other notes: it was confirmed that Nathan was the accomplice helping 579 while she was still on the run, and assisted her in the prison break during the Everest Mafia attack. After doing some digging, I discovered why his last name sounded so familiar. We must do all we can to locate Nathan and return him to custody, if we can. At the very least, keep him under observation. His ability is not one to be trifled with. If we aren't careful, we could have a repeat of Redacted incident, which cost the lives of over 100 civilians.
Oh man.
Hot.
The next
I mean,
one
what?
is no.
We love him. God damn it.
He's so beautiful.
Case
Baby,
number
he's so good.
Case number 584 A. Name Reese Ortega, codename Wildcat. Age 21. Defining features male African American, 6 foot 2 inches, height, black hair, dreadlocks with a fade, amber eyes, last seen in a white jumpsuit. Ability Animal hybrid, cat or tiger. This includes night vision, inhuman agility, speed, and strength. Wildcat's ability has a tendency to completely consume him when he has become enraged. This causes him to lash out and attack anyone in sight. Keep him collared at all times. Other notes. Reese was an interesting case. He willingly turned himself in and submitted to life in compound. It is unclear as to why, considering he refused to answer any questions from the authorities.
How
The
interesting.
next one was where I was mad.
Why are you mad?
Well, I scrolled down and I noticed something, and that's why I'm mad. Oh wait, no, it's not that one. Fuck, it's the one after the next one.
It's fine. Anyway.
Case number
Fucking pay attention.
589A. Name Daniel
Aleta.
Aleta. Codename Hardwire. Age 20. Defining features male French, 5 foot 6 inches, height, white hair, gray eyes, typically wears thin, wide rimmed glasses, last seen wearing white jumpsuit. Ability Human supercomputer, finding code and breaking electronic locks. Other notes Daniel is a timid boy and hardly ever gets selected to compete in the arenas. After the incident involving Maramusa, separate file,
Maramusa.
he. Oh, fuck, you're right. Masamune.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse.
Masamune, separate file. He had to be rushed to emergency care and other to save his life. During the Erebus fought mafia attack on the compound, Daniel was rescued from Masamune by Shade, separate file, before he escaped along with Affinity's group, whereabouts now unknown. Damn, that's sad face. Why are you doing him like
There's
that?
yep, uh-huh.
Womp.
Womp
I'm so
womp.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Case number 598A. Name Drake Salvador. Codename Basilisk. Age 21. Defining features male Caucasian, 5 foot 10-inch height, sandy brown hair, hazel eyes with slighted pupils, last seen wearing white jumpsuit. Ability Animal hybrid. Drake has the characteristics of a venomous serpent. He has retractable fangs
Oh,
and the
okay,
capability.
hang on, there's a sound redeem. Katarina.
You're a loser just like me.
Thanks, asshole. It's not even going off. That's the funny thing.
Loser, goddamn baby.
Oh wait, it's a never mind. I'm
Fucked
stupid.
up little.
Anyway, you may continue.
Drake has He has retractable fangs and the capability to spit out acid. Spitting cobra. He is also capable of hardening his skin to give himself armor against blades, but it will not block bullets.
No!
Other
Shot
notes.
through the heart. Sorry.
You're too late.
No.
You give love a
A bad night.
My fault.
Other notes. Drake hardly ever speaks a word to anyone outside of his small group of friends.
Now he doesn't say any words.
Although he was involved in the prison break during the Eberus attack as well, it was confirmed that Drake was terminated shortly after the prison break during a small scuffle with the missing prisoners. This scuffle left 3 soldiers dead.
Damn it.
Shame. Case number.
Shame.
Case number 423B. Name Nerissa May Sylvius?
Sylvius.
Man, Sylvius. That's what I thought. But it sounds weird when I say it like that. Nerissa May Sylvius. Codename Val. Age 18. Defining features female French, 5 foot 3 inch height, long white hair, pale blue eyes, small scar in the corner of her mouth, last seen wearing white jumpsuit. Ability, water manipulation. Other notes. I like that that's all they got on her.
That's all they got, baby, and
I
she
mean, I'm
likes it
sorry. I
that
like
way.
that that's all that's
She ain't
written.
gonna snitch on herself.
Oh.
That's all they got on her because that's all she showed.
I have issues. What issues? Yes.
Yes. Other notes. Nerissa turned herself in and claimed that she had killed someone, but wouldn't elaborate further. Any attempts to get more information only resulted in her becoming hysterical and wouldn't speak any further. It was also confirmed she was among the prisoners who escaped in the compound during the Eberus attack. Man, damn, Soul's kind of hot.
That's what I'm saying.
Case number 245 S. Name Soul Erebus. Codename Shade. Age 20. Defining features female Japanese Italian, 5 foot 1 inch height. Long crimson red hair. Don't. That's how tall Shade is.
Yeah, I know.
I'll fucking take out your kneecaps.
Oh, you can try. They're already
Oh my
gone.
god, I forgot how short you were.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Damn.
Move on.
Long crimson red hair with the left half shaved. Hazel eyes. Long scar crossing her right eye. Tattoo of the Erebus family below her left collarbone. Last seen wearing white jumpsuit. Ability: shadow manipulation. Other notes: Sol was a high-ranking executive of the Erebus Mafia before she fled her family home alongside Nighthawk, separate file. She is Masamune's twin sister and Kuroi Kage's daughter, separate file. She seems to be disavowed by her family, but we should still keep a close eye on her for the time being. Downloading files. Download complete. Cache cleared. You have been logged out.
Oh fuck.